All right, good evening, everyone. It is 6:01, calling the meeting to order. Mauricio?
Commissioner Stuyvesant? Here. Commissioner Lama? Here. Commissioner Joseph?
Present.
Vice Mayor Vizcarra?
Here.
Mayor Svechen?
Here.
All members present, ma'am.
Okay, so this is our zoning.
Yeah, so this is the meeting of a local planning agency. We'll be considering today three items. The first item listed on the agenda is 2A, which is a discussion and/or action on an ordinance to amend the LDRs regarding the administrative site plan review.
Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, members of the local planning agency. This item amends Article 5 of the Land Development Regulations entitled Development Review Procedures, and it accomplishes two things. First, it removes the requirement for applicants to submit physical documents and therefore allows us to move to a fully digital review process. And the second is that it reiterates something that is currently implied but not expressly stated in the code, which is that development projects must maintain all elements of an approved site plan and the conditions of approval in perpetuity. And I'm available if you have any questions.
Okay, do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
All right, do we have any questions from anyone?
No?
Yeah, I do have a few questions.
Go ahead.
So, if it's very good to go completely digital. However, when a member of the public wants to have access to it, because we don't have right now the SmartGov capabilities, like I said, that we're paying for activated, so they have to go and do a public record request to see any plans that get submitted.
So for planning and zoning applications, they're not submitted through SmartGov. So applicants can submit them on like a thumb drive, a CD, through email, and then we save them to our internal system. So yes, it is a public records request.
Okay, so that's the only way they can get it. Okay.
Correct.
And then I have another question, because we kind of have this issue last year when we have an applicant with a site modification for the States of Aquilina for the parking garage. Correct? So in that moment, it was said that we needed to do the site plan modification because it was not convenient for them not to have a CO on the parking garage. And we went ahead and we had that discussion in here. However, in the event that it wasn't clear who had to pay for the undergrounding of the utilities, it was a recommendation of the staff that then it has to be paid by the taxpayers.
That's not
What's the
something,
question?
yeah, it's
What's
not
the
something
question?
Amy would answer.
Okay, so who can answer that question?
You can send it to me, I'll provide you an answer.
No,
But we
because-
already heard the item, so I'm not sure
Okay,
what the question is.
well,
The
the-
commission voted on it, so.
Correct, yeah, and I voted against it basically because when we have a very specific conditions, and then later on, which is what we are codifying right now, correct? That when they come, the only way to change those conditions with a site plan modification.
Yep.
Correct? Okay. I just wanted to put on the record that we did it before, that the recommendation was against the public and the residents. Now we have the resident, the taxpayer had to pay for the underground, which it was a condition for the certificate of occupancy of that specific property. Anybody can correct me if I'm saying anything wrong, please. And I just want to put on the record that we have to be very careful with these conditions and the way that the recommendation is coming, because in this case specifically, now the taxpayer has to pay for the underground of those utilities. That it was the condition of approval for that parking garage.
Which project are we talking about?
The estates at Aquilina parking garage next door.
I don't believe that was a condition, was it?
So I don't recall the specifics of the case, and I'm hesitant to give something that's not factual. But that's why the project came before you as a site plan modification. The commission had to approve to change that condition. But
Yeah,
I don't remember the
I
specifics.
went
so I don't
ahead
want
and
to.
I did actually review it. That was February 2025, if anybody want to check it out. And that's the thing, the issue that I have, that we are approving these projects with very specific conditions, and then they come here, or in this case, I think it was really a big conflict of interest, because they brought it to us after throwing a very lavish party to the mayor. Once again, very conflicted, getting freebies from the developers, and then voting to give them this kind of site conditions approvals, modifications. So I just wanted to point out on the record that whoever is sitting down here should be very careful when allowing these site modifications if there were very specific conditions to get those projects approved. So that's only my comments.
Okay. Amy, so can you please clarify again what this item is? Because I got a little bit lost in all this conversation as to what we're talking about.
Sure, this is a text amendment to Article 5 of the Land Development Regulations to strike the requirement for physical copies of documents to be submitted with zoning applications. And it also adds a line of code that says that development projects must maintain all elements of approved site plan and conditions of approval in perpetuity unless a site plan modification is approved.
So can they still submit the paper, or are we just doing it now, everything electronically?
They could if they want to, but this is at least removing the requirement to submit physical documents.
And how long will this take once it's approved? Take
Well,
effect?
Second reading is this evening, so I believe it would be effective immediately.
So there isn't,
Or is there that appeal period?
This particular ordinance, it could be, but this particular ordinance says 10 days.
all right. So, but this wouldn't be a problem for anyone that's building a single-family home and potentially doesn't have the ability, they can still choose to submit paper copies as well.
Yes.
Okay, does anyone have any questions? Okay.
No.
Mauricio?
So sorry, we just need a motion to approve and.
So moved.
I need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is item 2C. Excuse me.
To be.
2B, I'm sorry, which is a discussion and/or action regarding an ordinance to amend Chapter 265, Section 265-53 regarding sign regulations.
Okay. So this is a proactive ordinance to require community pools to display their address in a convenient and visible location.
Okay. And just for clarification, I know we went through this before, but what does this mean for single-family homes versus condos versus, I know we don't have any public pools, but let's say we did.
So the code specifically says this is for swimming pools owned or operated by condominium associations or any commercial entities. So this wouldn't apply to like a single-family home.
Okay. Now, I know that most condos already have signs up. Does this change their current signage? Are we going to go back and ask them to change all their signage?
So from my understanding, there is going to be an educational period,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're going to be working with the properties to get them into compliance. But it is a good and proactive request is to put, an address displayed at the community pool at least 4 inches in size. Well, the letters 4 inches in size.
The letters, right?
Yeah.
Yes, not the sign. Okay. Any questions?
I think this is good stuff.
Yeah.
Really, yeah. It's for hotels, and it's the same idea, like why put the numbers on the top of the lifeguard stands, just to, you may not always know where you're standing, right? You need to give people
Direction.
something to be able to convey to 911, right? So, good, I like it.
Okay, I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Proceed.
The next item is 2C, a discussion and/or action regarding a resolution approving the vision document for Town Center North and neighborhood business districts.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commissioners, members of the local planning agency, we are pleased to present to you the final product of the Sunny Isles Beach Vision Planning for Tomorrow effort, which is in the form of the vision document before you. We are joined tonight by Caitlin Forbes from Complete Cities Planning Group, who has been working on this project since 2023. And before I hand the presentation over to her, I just want to give a brief reminder of why we are here and the purpose of the project. The area known as Town Center North currently has no supporting comprehensive plan policies, which is really hindering redevelopment in the area. And similarly, the mixed-use business and the neighborhood business future land use categories, which we're collectively referring to as the neighborhood business districts, conflict with the land development regulations. So before drafting formal policy amendments, We went out to the community to assess what the future vision of the area is and if it has changed since incorporation of the city and adoption of the first comprehensive plan. So the document that is before you for consideration is the culmination of this extensive public outreach effort. So with that, I will hand it over to Caitlin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Good evening, members of the local planning agency. My name is Caitlin from the Planning Group. I'm a vision document and go through tonight, discuss. We gave you a week as well as the next process. We got here through a previous one regulation say that the upper maximums for and establishing for town, whether the original vision is as or whether over the years has changed. And so the study areas shown familiar column 100. And so one of the first focuses was to hear as part of determining whether that original vision still. And so our public outreach process highlighted on the screen here had a focus group that had a list of 3 different meetings upon the previous meetings and ultimately principles that are incorporated into the vision document and are part of the bones of the vision. In addition to the outreach that we heard from over 4 online surveys, hosted 2 open houses. The city also hosted did a senior roundtable meeting, senior citizens, and they provided some meaningful insight in a different perspective. We also had different one-on-one meetings with the property owners, and as the commission had several workshops over the last. So what came out of general consensus repeated was the way that the public summarized for the town only the village neighborhood serving rather than established in the original vision. As well, the desire to develop or at least renovate the general public and even better, perhaps providing new interior more comfortable environment area. So the focus following summary for this part of and gave a good clear direction for document away from column. That was something since the upon redevelopment. Prioritizing open space at the ground level, so meaningful parks, linear, also pathway, internal street to better utilize that current Collins. Commission several times, as shown on the screen here. Questions to the vision worthwhile in terms of certain things, specifically public whether there's and we also all form in or outer height being a key focus of the conversation. So what did we hear back from you all? We heard that the original vision did not stand, that the new vision was more nuanced, that you do prefer to see the scale and separation of the commercial and residential areas stay about the same, and to maintain a separation between commercial and residential uses, that there shouldn't be so much of a blending, especially with the commercial spreading westward into the existing residential areas. There's a preference, again, mirroring the public consensus, to see the existing shopping centers at least redeveloped, or renovated rather, and perhaps redeveloped with some amount of residential to support the required entitlements to, from a financial perspective, redevelop those properties. We talked about the overall open space throughout the centers, and to allow but not require retail in the residential areas. So that brings us to the document before us, which is the vision plan, and that's the culmination of our public outreach process, and that establishes our 20-year vision. Ultimately, that's going to guide our future comprehensive plan and land development regulation amendments. So we'll go through the document. I believe you all have a copy of the plan before you. And it's broken up into different chapters or topics. But the first piece is establishing the overall planning principles. You can see them up on the screen here, and they're reiterated throughout the different chapters, so we'll get into each of those as we move forward. So the overall character is kind of the first chapter of the plan, and again, the stakeholders envisioned this pedestrian-oriented, low-scale village environment centered around walkable streets and varied open spaces, often described as a beachy village. And the various design principles are listed on the screen there. So again, limiting overall density intensity, with the exception that the commission may want to grant certain parcels or properties additional density or intensity when it's consistent with the remainder of the plan and further benefits the project. And we have some kind of parameters on what that looks like, primarily maintaining lower podium heights, especially around Collins, and maintaining where you do have the height, making sure that it's away from Collins Avenue. Also restricting, as I mentioned, commercial development to the currently developed parcels. Maintaining and protecting the residential properties was a key item. We heard from the focus group and the public as well as the commission that the existing residential areas were kind of an enclave, and that they were really enjoyed, and that they should be protected and not necessarily changed. Again, open space, you're going to hear discussion about different types of open spaces throughout the presentation, but overall encouraging kind of a park once atmosphere, where you're coming to the center, you're parking in one location, and then you're able to enjoy the full town center north, whether you're going to eat and then going to some other form of entertainment, you're able to just park and leave your car and experience it as a pedestrian. So here's some images that we presented at one of the last workshops and that were incorporated into the vision plan. And then the next chapter talks about street design and circulation. So we're kind of going from the macro to the micro level. So in terms of formulating a new street and circulation pattern, the overall consensus was that there should be a focus on promoting walkability and efficient circulation within the retail centers. Again, maintaining a physical separation in terms of automobile connections from east to west, only allowing for additional pedestrian connections between the east and west halves of Town Center North. There should, again, be a focus on additional streetscape design and focusing on the pedestrian experience at the ground level. And here's some additional images that were included. As well as have treatment, creating additional buffer. Moving on to parking, street network down. Once you get on site, again, we talked about the large dominating pattern of the surface parking lots that are currently there and the impact that that has to the aesthetics of the site. There was something that we heard over and over. One, it's not very convenient to park. There's perhaps isn't enough parking. Certainly when it comes to beach parking, that was something that we heard a need for in terms of additional public parking, but just also being able to go and park and then get to the different shops and restaurants that they may be wanting to enjoy in Town Center North wasn't the easiest in the current configuration. So there's certainly an opportunity to develop structured parking in the area, and that would free up a lot of the surface parking for additional infill that would better mirror or implement the vision plan. There is a note in the plan that we would like to maintain an allowance for smaller pocket surface parking areas for convenience parking for different retailers like grab and go restaurants and things like that, because there are certain retailers that do need quick in and out 10-15 minute type of parking. Upon the redevelopment of the structured parking, there's some guidance in terms of the design of those structured parking garages. Ideally, especially along street frontages or open spaces, there should be a building to screen pocket that maintained in some smaller. So one of the key items of the plan here, a call for open space in terms of varied open space throughout. Again, that can be pocket parks, linear parks, connections to existing spaces. There's an existing park to the north, but there's also existing trails and pathways around the edges that would be key to tie into to maintain a consistent circulation pattern through and around Town Center North, and focusing on Collins Avenue as a new linear park or boulevard style treatment is something that was highly desired. Here's some examples of those images. The top, Collins Ave treatment, the bottom being a new town. And there, not every space needs to be different throughout. Uses into site mass and height should be shifted away from Collins Avenue. An overall focus or emphasis on the lower scale, but when done correctly, the commission could consider taller, larger buildings as long as they maintain some sort of podium design that created a pedestrian-friendly, pedestrian-scaled street frontage. Here's some examples of what that may look like. Smaller buildings, again, and residential use, and maintaining the existing residential areas, and those were enjoyed and well liked, and kind of seen as an area that should be protected and maintained. Then moving into the neighborhood business districts, the study maps are shown on this slide. He was taking the opportunity to, through the visioning process, through the public, the city did want new visions or concepts for the town, or for the northern business districts rather. Overall, a lot of the same sentiments and ideas from Town Center North carried forward into the neighborhood business districts. The same desire for those high quality open spaces and pedestrian realm atmosphere enhancers were also desired in this area. One of the key things here was whether to focus on Collins Avenue or Atlantic Boulevard as a new pedestrian-oriented street. And the consensus was pretty split. Is kind of down the middle about whether, upon redevelopment, buildings should be oriented and focused more towards Collins Avenue or towards a quieter street, towards what would be the back now along Atlantic Boulevard, which would create maybe a different feel and atmosphere if the redevelopment was done in such a pattern. But again, a desire to see the building height pushed away from Collins Avenue in these areas as well. So in terms of next steps, moving forward, the vision plan sets kind of the tone and character for the future comprehensive plan and land development regulations. So that would be the next step, would be to move into drafting those comprehensive plan and land development regulations. That would be done when we're legally allowed to. You probably have heard a lot about SB 180 and the implications of that. So we would move forward with those steps when either SB 180 is amended or when it sunsets. So with that, we'd like to thank the commission as well as the focus group and the public, everyone who participated in the process. It was great to hear from you all, and we certainly got a lot of valuable information and feedback throughout the process. So be happy to take any questions.
Okay, thank you. Mauricio, do we have public speakers?
We do.
Okay.
Tracy Slavin.
Let public speaking first, and then we'll hear from the commission.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. My name is Tracy Slavins. My address is 3800 Northeast 1st Avenue, Suite 200, Miami, Florida. I'm here on behalf of Desert Properties. I'm here to speak on an informational basis, not in support or against, but I do want to highlight that the vision plan document was prepared without the participation of the property owners of these areas. It was resident-based, and the stakeholders that I think were engaged for this process were the people surrounding these areas, but didn't actually include the people that own the properties that are the subject of some of these discussions and changes. Notwithstanding and recognizing that this plan is merely stating a vision and has no legal force or effect at this time, we still want to ensure that the property owner's rights are protected and not impaired by the adoption of this plan or future amendments to the zoning code. We're just asking that you don't take any rights away. We're not asking you to give us anything else. And to protect those rights, we wanted to present additional language to be inserted into the vision plan that ensures that this won't have negative impacts on the property owners in the future. So I have a handout here, and I'll read it on the record. And I'd ask that this would be incorporated into the item that you will hear on the 6:30 agenda. And essentially, the new language states, it is important to note that the vision plan is just that, a proposed vision for the possible future development within certain of the city's zoning districts. Neither the vision plan nor its subsequent adoption by the city operates to change the future land use designation or zoning district on any parcel of land. The vision plan does not operate to downplan or downzone any lands within the city. Notably, the vision plan does not seek to divest, take, or impair existing rights. Those rights remain intact following the adoption of the plan. The city also notes that there are many as-built conditions, natural conditions, and prior approvals that may render the implementation of the vision plan inequitable in certain circumstances on a case-by-case basis. This vision plan is not intended to, nor shall it, downzone, downplan any property rights. So it's just a protective measure, and we just ask that you graciously consider incorporating it into the vision plan document. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speakers?
Yes, ma'am. David Virgil.
Good evening. My name is David Virgil. My address is 17500 North Bay Road, Sunny Isles Beach. I just want to say I was part of the focus group, and I want to clarify this vision document is just like a guide or a concept of how the Town Center North District and the business overlay district should look like in the future. It's not necessarily imposing any new regulations on current properties. It's just how the city would like the area to look like. It's not forcing developers or property owners to change at this time. And that's basically all I want to say.
Thank you.
No other speakers, ma'am.
All right. Members of the commission, do you have questions? Are there any questions? Please go ahead.
I have a statement.
Commissioner Joseph, you have a
Yes.
statement? Go ahead.
So originally, I was apprehensive regarding the planner's intent as to what they would present to us. But accordingly, and going over what was presented to us this evening, I'd like to commend them for doing an excellent job. I just hope that the plan, as it's envisioned here, could come to fruition one day.
Okay, anyone else?
If I may.
Please.
I mean, I'm personally impacted by this, right, because that's where I live. And I absolutely appreciate, I think you listened and you incorporated the input of the community. I especially appreciate you protecting the residential nature of North Bay Road. And until we turn it into a truck stop. But for now, this is great. My favorite piece that I had not considered that I saw in your report is the linear park. We have a version, I guess you see, like the Intracoastal Park that's on the south, right? That's south, yeah, on the south of 163rd Street. And to have some version of that, even better than that, stretch as far as possible along Collins, that would be fantastic. And it would not only be pretty, which is nice, but it protects pedestrians. As we've said repeatedly, walking on our sidewalks, we've done what we can with what is ours, but widening here and there. But it's not a fun experience on Collins. So the linear park, I thought, was a great feature based on the input that you received. So thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Commissioner Stewart?
I'm going to read it. So the resolution explicitly states that this document will serve as the, quote, foundation and provide guidance for future amendments to the comprehensive plan and land development regulations, meaning that once it's passed, this document can be used for the pretext to rezone these districts. And they're doing it apparently. Once you read it, you can say that it states specifically that we don't need to do it, that this is just a vision, right? Do we need this document?
You do need to take some sort of action to establish upper development maximums, which are currently missing in the Town Center North District. That's why development's been on hold in the areas. You don't have development maximums or allowances in your comprehensive plan that are aligned with your land development code.
So it's not just a guidance. We need this document to then go and make the changes to the comp plan and land development regulations, correct?
Correct. You need either this plan or some sort of direction to adopt development allowances.
So it comes to the process because it's not so much about the product, but how we got here. How much money do we spend on this? So we're working in something that we don't even know how much it costs.
Are you asking the city manager?
Whoever can answer, yes.
How much we spent on what?
On this process? How much do we spend on the staff, on time, on consultants, etc.? How much? This is the product of how much money did we put on this,
Mm-hmm.
and how much time?
Go ahead.
I don't know. I'd have to get that information.
Then we should not be voting on this. We don't have the information. We don't know how much. We don't know the time. I have another question. We talking about the it was the people was really involved. Surveys went out there. I might be wrong, but I don't recall receiving the data, the raw data of the public input. Did we receive that information?
We did. We presented the results of the public outreach and survey results at one of the commission workshops.
No, my
couple years
question
ago.
is like when the people went into the website and they could give the answers, did we receive those answers, like that raw data from the public? Whatever were the comments when they could open the survey in their computers? Because I don't remember receiving that information. I didn't read the comments of the people,
Yeah,
so I don't know if we got
So we
those.
gave the summary version. We condensed all of the data and provided the combined results from the 400 plus respondents. If you wanted to see the individual respondents, we'd have to go back and see if that's something that's still available.
Okay, precisely. So we don't receive the comments. We don't know. We don't have the raw data. So we don't know what the people were saying. We have to rely on whatever was the process, how you guys process the data. Another thing, the focus group. What was the process to choose who was going to be part of that focus group?
So for the focus group, we opened an online interest form, and so we received 71 applications. Of those 71, we had criteria to choose the participants. We selected 13.
1 second there. And who established the criteria?
I'm sorry?
Who established the criteria to select the participants?
Staff did.
The staff did, like you guys did, the
Yes.
staff. Okay. So you established the criteria. You decided who was going to be part of the focus group.
And then once it was selected, we sent the list to the city commission, both all of the people who submitted interest forms and those that we had selected. And we asked the commission if you had any objections or concerns. We took that feedback, and then we selected the final people on the focus group.
Yeah, but basically it was decided by you guys because I could not add somebody that I wanted to put in there. So we didn't have a set.
We provided that opportunity, yes.
Well, I remember seeing the list. We had that conversation here a few years ago. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was in 2023 when we were having those.
2024.
Oh, 2024, okay. Because they start working on January 2024. That was one of the first meetings, correct? Okay, so, but I remember seeing the list, and I remember having that conversation, because if we don't have part of the process, then it can be the like-minded people were chosen for this. On top of that, I spoke to the developer or the landowners, the biggest landowners of that area, and they expressed their frustration. They said that they had courtesy calls with the staff and with the consultant, but they were not part of the conversation. So we are here opening ourselves to like big liabilities when we might or may not infringing in the property rights of the owners of these parcels. So once again, the process, we don't receive the data. We don't know how much it costs. We don't know exactly, it should be out there. Who is the people who participate and who are the people in these focus groups? The people more impacted economically is not a part of the conversation. So I cannot support this. I don't believe unless we have all the information available and the stakeholders are part of the conversation that we should be creating these type of plans. As if anything, we are just opening ourselves to big liabilities. So I'm not in favor of this vision.
Mr. City Manager, just for clarification, because we've had quite a few meetings about this and we received lots of data and we were given the opportunity for input as well as providing our recommendations for the focus group. Can you just clarify for the record, because I know this has been a very long process, and although we did go through an entire presentation right now that clarified exactly when we had the meetings, if you can please just quickly summarize so that we can get clarity.
Yeah, I think I explained some of this in the workshop, but the process that we're going through is part of a procedure that we need to go through to correct some inconsistencies in the code. So it's part of the legal process in order to get where we want to be should the commission decide to change the code. The entire process from start to finish has been open, transparent. Everybody has been involved. Everything's been approved by the commission. Our staff and planning experts who have the specific expertise to bring it forward have been brought to you, and I think you've been shown that tonight. So I don't think there's anything further regarding it.
Commissioner Lama?
Yeah. So, yeah, it's been a long process. I do respect and like the feedback from the residents. I'm in agreement with the vision and with the comments from my colleagues here, and I just hope, because there's a lot of factors that need to be completed so this vision can be implemented. Obviously, there's property holders there. You have RK, which owns a lot of the commercial property in that area. You have Desert as well. And I think that we as a city are going to have to work very hard to be able to translate this into our LDRs and be able to bring this to fruition, because we already had a vision in place already, and it went nowhere. So this is the first step. I like it. I agree with it, and I hope it can be implemented. I just think that we need to be very steadfast and be able to, implement what the residents have asked for, the feedback they've given us, because I think it will be something that will balance, walkability, pedestrian safety with a residential aspect and like an entertainment aspect that will be more in line with what other cities have done, like Doral, Dania, and some other municipalities, that there's development there, but you don't feel like the development is on top of you and choking the oxygen, like it is sucking the oxygen out of the municipality of the city. So I hope that this really comes to fruition. I am in agreement, like I said before, but I think it's going to take a lot of work, and I hope that we and other commissions that follow us, because this is not going to be implemented, not in 5 years, not in 6 years, not in 10 years. So I pray and hope that the people that follow us will be able to implement this. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And that the stakeholders, the property owners, and everybody that is involved in this understands that this is for the good of the entire community.
Okay, Vice Mayor? Do you have something to add? No. Okay. All right.
Mayor, if I could just add
Sure.
one caveat. So Ms. Slavins provided you some language that they wanted to add to that I spoke with her earlier, or communicated with her earlier, that I object to the language and I recommend against it. It's a hard no for me, but I just wanted to put that on the record, so when you do read it and consider it, that my recommendation is no.
Okay.
Okay, so into Alex's point, we are approving a 20-year plan vision. We should allow them, the new commission, to do this. In a few months, the majority is not going to be here, and they should be the ones making this decision. If not, we can put this in a referendum and let the people speak, So basically, it takes a majority of 3 people just to decide what is the vision of the city, because the point is that I read it all, and we are not basically challenging anything. Again, when we don't even know how much this is costing us. So we don't have the full information, and we've been in this process, it's true, for many, many years right now, but we're still not there. So I just don't know without the information, without being a clear process, like always, my issue is not with the product, it's with the process. To say that it's being very transparent doesn't make it transparent. Like I said, I have people here that they send me their comments that they put in the survey, and we never read those. So there is some people like to read it, or other people don't like it. But I would like to see what is the people giving us as their comments on the surveys, and that was not presented to us. So I just cannot find a way to justify a vote for this. When we wait for so long, we can wait a little bit more and have a bigger conversation. Nobody, and we all go through elections and campaigns, wants to see big buildings on the west side of Collins. I think that is set and done in the minds of the majority of the people of Sunny Isles Beach. So, however, there is a lot of issues, and like I said, the people that is going to get more impacted by this were not part of the conversation. So I cannot support this.
Okay, thank you. I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. Mauricio?
All in favor?
Aye.
No.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you, noted.
All right, so this concludes this meeting. Are we okay just to stop and keep going, or do we need to?
No, Mayor, I need a few minutes.
Okay,
to
so
stop
we'll
this
take a
meeting.
5-minute break. Don't go away, please. Meeting
Thank you.
adjourned, and we'll start our actual commission meeting in 5 minutes. Thank you.
chairs.
I need like, what is that little thing, the 5 o'clock, whatever, the 4 hour or whatever? Red Bull. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's true, that's true.
All right, good evening, everyone. It is 6:51, calling the meeting to order. Okay.
Commissioner Stuyvesant.
Here.
Commissioner Joseph.
Present.
Commissioner Lama.
Here.
Vice Mayor Viscara.
Here.
Mayor Svechin.
Here.
All members present, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. We'll all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. David, will you lead us, please? Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Rabbi, the invocation, please. And we'll do your
Hi.
proclamation right after.
Sure, thank you. Good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to see you.
Good evening.
Dear God, Master of the universe, we stand humbled before you this evening, and we recognize all of your blessings that you have bestowed upon us. We are mindful of the fact that you have blessed this city with wonderful leadership, direction, dedication, and a guiding spirit, which has resulted in the many successful achievements over the last 28 years. We recognize that we are gathered before you this evening in pursuit of fulfilling your wishes. As you, dear God, empowered humanity with 7 basic universal laws after the great flood of Noah, these laws were once again reaffirmed by Moses at Mount Sinai to be taught to all of humanity. Universal laws that provide a framework of law, order, and justice, which will allow humanity to settle the earth in a civilized manner. We recognize that we have been entrusted by the citizens of Sunny Isles Beach to perform this sacred duty. Almighty God, please provide us with the consciousness to constantly be aware of your presence so that we are consistent to our mandate. Please grant us the courage, strength, wisdom, intuition, sensitivity, and the patience to succeed so that we leave a legacy of having a positive impact upon society for many generations to come. Protect our police force, our servicemen and women serving domestically and overseas in the name of freedom and democracy. Please give them the peace of mind, insight, and intuition to be successful. Please guide our city staff to make the right decisions with honesty, integrity, and knowledge for all of our citizens into the future. And may they continue to serve as positive role models for our beautiful community. May everyone gathered here tonight and all the residents of Sunny Isles Beach be granted with good health, peace of mind, and prosperity. And let us say, Amen.
Amen.
Mauricio, you just announce
So-
some of the changes and then.
Yes, so just to go over really quickly, the changes to the agenda. If you all recall, earlier today at the 3 o'clock meeting, the commission agreed to move the proclamation for Education and Sharing Day to tonight's meeting. We also have some additional information, which is a resolution that was provided to you all, appointing the delegate and the alternate to the Miami-Dade League of Cities. Item 9T has been deferred, which is a resolution establishing the waiver, discounting, and revocation of adopted municipal fees. And there is an add-on by Vice Mayor Viscara for a proclamation recognizing April as National Poetry Month. So if we can just have a motion to approve the first 2 items, and then we'll do the request by Vice Mayor Viscara separately.
Can I get a motion?
So,
Second.
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you. And then a motion to approve Vice Mayor Viscara's add-on.
Get a motion?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you. And then we'll read the proclamation for Education and Sharing Day. The proclamation reads, Whereas a quality education is one of the significant foundations for the continuing success of our state, our country, our society at large, and in the city of Sunny Isles Beach, we strive for the betterment of all citizens through an increased focus on education and sharing. And whereas through providing the possibility of an excellent education for all, especially children, with which to gain knowledge through rigorous study, we can create hope for a brighter, kinder, and more united and prosperous future in the lives of so many. Whereas the educational system was also focused on building character and by emphasizing the cultivation of universal moral and ethical values that have been the bedrock of society from the dawn of civilization, including the values known as the 7 Noahide laws. And whereas the leading global advocates for the advancement of education, the Lubavitcher Rabbi Menachem Schneerson of righteous memory, stressed the importance of moral and ethical education as the bedrock of humanity and the hallmark of a healthy society, and strongly urged that education be reinforced by the inclusion of strong moral values. And whereas in recognition of the Rebbe's outstanding and lasting contributions toward improvements in world education, morality, and acts of charity, he was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal, and the United States Congress has established his birth date as a national holiday to raise awareness and strengthen the education of our children. And whereas April 9th, 2026 will mark 124 years since the Rebbe's birth, and the date will be celebrated across the United States and around the globe in tribute to the Rebbe's vision, guidance, and leadership. And whereas for more than 40 years, the President of the United States has recognized and honored the Rebbe's vision each year on that day by proclaiming it Education and Sharing Day, USA. And now, therefore, do I, Louis Fetchin, as mayor and on behalf of the City Commission of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, hereby proclaim March 29th, 2026 as Education and Sharing Day in the City of Sunny Isles Beach.
Thank you. We come down and take a picture, please. Okay. Mauricio?
Okay, we'll do your opening statement.
Yes, please.
Good evening, ladies and we and thank you for joining us tonight. There are a few important reminders regarding conduct during our commission meetings. Please ensure all electronic devices are turned off or set to silent mode to maintain the integrity of our proceedings. Mutual respect is the foundation of productive discussions. We ask that everyone remain silent and attentive when someone is addressing the clapping, applauding, any verbal either in support of the or card and time, the chair will notify you to conclude your remarks directly to the agenda. Remain concise and avoid redundancy. Should an individual speak without the chair's continue speaking. Coming barred. Majority of the commission members otherwise. Officer signs or placards in the commission chamber. Please exit the chamber quietly and without disruption. Our meetings is to facilitate public participation. However, disruptive or disorderly conduct hinders our collective objective. Individuals who want to speak on an item on the agenda are asked to fill out a public speaker's card and give it to the city clerk before the item is called. Speakers are asked to speak to the issues, make comments concise and to the point, and refrain from making duplicate comments. All speakers will be limited to 1 3-minute comment per item. If you exceed the 3-minute allotment, the chair will advise you to finish your comment. If you speak out of turn without permission from the chair and/or you do not cease speaking after 1 warning, you will be escorted. For decorum at these meetings, anyone who interferes with the orderly meetings after a warning may be removed from the meeting and may be barred before the City Commission, as permitted in S-286, 0114, FS and SS 74-5 and 74-21 of the City's Code of Ordinances. Any necessary removal will be made at the direction to ensure that serve.
Okay, welcome everyone. I know we all just heard the opening message, but as I always do, I will remind you, if you would like to speak on any of the items, please fill out a public speaking card. You can do that now. If you change your mind, that's totally okay. You can pull it out later, but it will be not possible for you to speak once the public comment is closed. You have 3 minutes. Please stick to that. Please respect our rules of decorum. I ask the members of the commission to obviously do the same. Like the opening comment says, we are here for you. We're here to hear you, but we got to follow the rules. So with that, Mauricio, first item.
Okay. First item is ordinance first reading. 6A is an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, Florida, amending Chapter 265, Article 9, Section 265-53, entitled Required Signs, No Permit Required, of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, requiring the posting of certain signs at community and commercial swimming pools, providing for repealer, providing for severability, providing for codification, providing for an effective date.
Great, thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. This is an ordinance to amend the sign code of the Land Development Regulations. And this is a proactive ordinance that will require all community and commercial swimming pools to have an address posted at the pool deck that is visible during nighttime and daytime, with lettering that is at least 4 inches in height.
Okay, do we have any public speakers?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Stephen Hirsch.
Your name and address.
Hirsch, 17201 Collins. I support this ordinance. If it'll even save one life, then it's worth the need to put addresses on pools where they're visible. I know in the hotels and in the condominiums, we have family that visits, and God forbid an emergency where an address is needed in a hurry. It's certainly something worthwhile. I do have just one comment. It relates to the business impact statement that's required by Florida Statute 166.014.4a. It states that the limited cost of producing a sign to be posted is required by the ordinance. My only comment is several pool decks and pools are going to require more than one sign because the ordinance is written requires that it be visible from the pool deck. It also requires that the sign be visible daylight and after dark. So that will require some type of lighting. The condominiums on the beach and the hotels on the beach may then need turtle-friendly lighting. Whatever it costs needs to be done, but I just believe that the business impact statement should clearly, no matter what the issue is, always reflect the true known costs of something, as is the purpose of this Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you. Any other speakers?
No other speakers.
Okay, public comment is closed. Any comments or questions from the commission? Take a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Commissioner Lama,
Yes.
Commissioner Joseph,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Viscara,
Yes.
Commissioner Stuyvesant,
Yes.
Mayor Svechen.
Yes.
The ordinance passes on first reading. Second reading will be scheduled for April.
Okay, next item?
Next item is 6B, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, Florida, amending ordinance number 2025-635, approving budget amendment number BA 252602 to the city's operating and capital improvement budget for the 2025-2026 fiscal year, authorizing the city manager to do all things necessary to implement the terms and conditions of this ordinance, providing for an effective date.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is a budget amendment that will allocate transfers out to support capital projects funds. It allocates the purchase of 8 marked and 2 unmarked police vehicles, replacement of lifeguard towers, purchase of a jet ski for ocean rescue, an allocation of monies for the Golden Shore Pump Station, and the Intracoastal Sports Park.
Okay. Do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Any comments or questions from the commission? Yes, go ahead, Commissioner Joseph.
So regarding the lifeguard stands, these 5 additional lifeguard stands, this is in addition to what we've already replaced?
Yes.
Okay. So then regarding, and when is that to occur? The replacement?
As soon as this is approved, they will be ordered and they take 8 to 10 weeks.
Okay. So we still have the proposition as to covering them somehow with some type of covering. So I'd like to bring back at some point regarding the request of Romero Brito that he has offered to cover all of our lifeguard stands. I know if anyone's gone online, you see what he's done over in Europe now. He's celebrated everywhere. And for the city of Sunny Isles to turn down a celebrated resident artist who has offered artwork for our new park, which was turned down. He's offered to do the artwork for all of our lifeguard stands. That was rejected. I just don't understand it. It makes no sense that the mayor would, in her guidance, would reject something like that.
Okay. Thank you. I'll take a motion.
No, I have more comments.
Go ahead.
Okay, so,
Oh, sorry, sorry.
no, you can
I
finish.
needed to speak about one other item. The $500,000 for the additional $500,000 for the sports park. I've asked and asked for several months now. Mauricio, did you find any documents that you said you had sent to me?
I haven't had a chance to look,
Okay.
Commissioner, but I'll get an answer.
Found anything that you had sent to me, regardless of my previous several requests regarding all documentation between the city manager's office and the contractors from the beginning of this project until today regarding additional costs, change orders, anything. I have not received anything, and I have a right to oversight, and that has not occurred. To offer an additional $500,000 now when I don't even know what the reasoning is or what has occurred in the past, I cannot be for that.
Commissioner,
I
when
don't
did you
care if
make
the
the
project
request?
halts.
When did you make the request?
Mauricio, when was my first request to you? How many months ago?
I'd have to check back.
First of all, I made an open request at the commission,
Okay.
and then I made previous requests through Mauricio.
Okay, so you have the request? Do you
I
have
do.
a sense of when you can provide that?
Should, by tomorrow,
Okay.
should be able to have it.
Okay, but that's too late for today. and we have this now to vote on. So I have to vote no.
Okay.
I can't offer any other funding until I know where the previous funds have gone.
Thank you. Commissioner
Okay.
Stuyvesant?
I'm gonna make it easy for you, Jerry. I'm gonna make a motion to approve B, C, and D. Anything and everything related to safety, security, and our police and lifeguard stations. However, I have questions about A, E, and F. So for $815,000 transfer out to support the funding needs in the capital project fund. As it is, we have there almost $34 million, not really tied to anything. So I want to know, where is this 815 coming from, and why are they going now to capital improvement plans?
Mayor, may I?
Yes,
May I?
please, go ahead.
A goes with E and F. So the 815 is from fund balance that is now being allocated to those two specific projects, 315 for the Golden Shores Pump Station to complete that project, and 500, as Commissioner Joseph pointed out, for Intercoastal Sports Park.
So it's coming, no, it's not increasing the transfer, it's actually decreasing it.
It's
Because here
moving
we
it
have it
from one
increasing
account
it.
to the other.
Yeah, I know, but here we have it as an increase, not as a decrease, in page 22. Okay, so for the Golden Shore Pump Station, 315 to fund project cost. To Jerry's point, where is it going exactly? Why do we don't have a detail about it? What is it that exactly is going to be funding? And F, the $500,000 of the Intracoastal Sports Park. One thing about it is that we have a contract here, 9M, for $200,000 that you guys are asking for Intracoastal Park. Doesn't have the detail why you guys are asking for those 200,000, but here you're asking for 500, even before we vote for the 9M. So like I said, we need a lot more detail. If we're gonna be voting for this, we need to know what is additional project cost means. So I'm making a motion to approve B, C, and D. Like I said, anything and everything related to safety in our police department, pending more information to be able to approve A, E, and F. So I make a motion.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. Mr. City Manager, for clarification, how difficult or how quickly would you be able to get the additional information that was requested?
Well, we have a workshop on Tuesday, so any of those questions could have been asked and answered prior to the meeting. So any delay now, if you break out some of the items, could potentially delay the opening of the Intercoastal Sports Park, as well as the completion of the pump station. So we would not recommend that. We would ask you to approve the items, and we can provide clarification after.
You didn't get these questions after the workshop?
I did not, nor did I get them at the workshop.
Go back to last month's commission meeting when I asked for certain documents. They were not supplied to me.
What did you ask for?
The thing with the workshop, if people are not aware, is that those workshops are not here. They're in the first floor. They are not projected in the, they're now open in the, they're open to the public, but they're not broadcasted. So unless you come here and you are there, actually I was in Washington, D.C., and I was participating. And like in every other of the workshops, I'm listening to you guys, but I'm not going to be participating in that very obscure process. We will have those answers if the financial director was there, how she used to be. But now that you guys changed the rules of engagement and she's not here to provide those answers, this is right now where the staff has to be to answer those questions. So it was under your direction that we changed that. So yes,
I don't make any unilateral
that was 2023.
decisions.
Yes,
We do
it was
as-
during
we-
a memo.
we
I
do
have
it-
the floor. So it was
No, wait
on
a
a
second.
memo.
Commissioner Stuyvesant.
Okay.
For the record,
Okay.
that workshop is for the purpose of allowing the public to participate in additional time.
How?
In the past, the agenda
cannot
review.
talk.
the agenda reviews were done behind closed doors individually, which you could still do. So did you have an agenda review with the manager?
I don't need to. I know how to read.
Okay, so you could have asked him for this, the point that he's
No, that's
making.
why I'm doing it right now, because I'm gonna
But we
do
could
it.
have had the information today.
No, I want to, you know what, I'm going to do it with transparency, in front of the people, in front of the cameras. Preparing in advance to have all the answers, so the people, they don't know about it, I'm not doing that. So right now, like I said, we don't have here the breakdown of those 315,000, we don't have the breakdown of 500,000, but we are asked to vote on it blindly. We cannot do that. That is not best practices. We don't have here the staff that can answer those questions. And like I said, that was changed in 2023 via a memo. Before that, since the inception of the city, we have the staff sitting down here answering those questions. So, of course, this is not transparency, because we don't have the expert here to answer those. And again, that was under your direction.
Okay, the city manager is the head of the city that can answer those questions. Mr. City Manager, can you give me some clarification on some of these questions, please?
Sure, our deputy city manager can provide the information.
Please.
Okay, so first, just a clarification, the page 3 of 3 that you mentioned, the increase. So on page 2 of 3, there is the decrease from fund balance. Page 3 of 3 is an increase to the capital fund. So
Correct.
that's to cover those two projects. The $500,000, part of it is MBR, which is before you tonight. And that had to do with the need for a retaining wall so that this easement property that was donated to us meets our property. There was a gap there, so we have to fix that. And then there was NMB Water required us to move a water line 350 feet to the south. We decided to, based on your recommendation, to extend the sidewalk further west so that we had a wider sidewalk in front of it. All of those things were change orders that we have been working towards and are bringing to you now tonight. The $500,000 in total is for the whole project cost. So if you recall, last month we brought forward to you Keith and Associates. We had a change order with them because there's a design requirement for that retaining wall and other things. We have to pay for additional permitting due to the retaining wall. So that project cost in total, we're estimating the $500,000, so we're putting it in the bucket. Hopefully we don't need all of it, but we wanted to have the money in case if we need to spend more money on something to get the project done on time.
Okay, so if I may ask.
Oh, I'm sorry, one more thing,
Yes.
Mayor. And the 315 for the Golden Shores Pump Station, that was in last year's budget. It wasn't carried over to this year because we were supposed to be finished last year. So that's why that one's a reallocation instead of an allocation.
Okay, so may I ask why it's taking so long to get Commissioner Joseph's request, if you were able to answer the question right now?
I'm really sorry. And I apologize. I don't recall getting it, but I will, whatever I have, I will get to you.
Okay.
Okay, so about the Intracoastal Park. We give the contract to the lower bidder, okay? It was around 3.1 million back then. It was added a 10% contingency, which it was eaten. And now we are asking $500,000 more. So it seems like the lower bidder was not the more qualified actual lower bid. And I don't know who's the contractor, by the way, so it's nothing against the contractor. So right now, we are almost like $1 million over the lower bidder. And things like because I read the contract, so some of the stuff that is now put in there, like you said, is a retaining wall of a park that is on the ocean. So how can now they be thinking that we're going to be needed that? Also, the CCTV camera wiring, same thing. A whole city from head to toe has CCTV cameras. So they could not think of putting the scope that we were going to need that wiring. So we did, apparently the scope wasn't the actual scope. So now they're asking for little here, little there. $300,000 is a lot of money. $500,000 is a lot of money. So we are doing something wrong when we are bidding and giving this to apparently the lowest bidder. So like I said, I have a motion on the floor to approve B, C, and D. Everything for our safety Police Department, and I do believe I have a second.
Okay. I'll take a motion for this item.
No, but we have to vote on her motion.
No, we have to have this first, and then we can amend it.
No, I'm making a
No,
motion. I
I don't
make a
believe
first
so.
motion with
No.
amendment to approve B, C, and D.
Alan,
There's a motion on the floor. It's been seconded to, I guess, approval,
Amend.
but amend.
With the
Amend.
amendment, okay.
it's amended. Right.
With amendment.
Okay,
Right.
so we're not approving, we are amending.
We're
No,
approving
you are
with
No, I
approving
amendment.
with
understand, I
amendment.
understand. The motion is to amend the item.
Well,
Okay.
I don't know. Is the motion to approve with amendment?
Yes.
Okay.
Approve with the amendments.
Yes.
Okay, I need a second.
Second.
Okay, Mauricio?
Commissioner Joseph,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Viscara,
No.
Commissioner Stuyvesant,
Yes.
Commissioner Lama,
No.
Mayor Svechen.
No.
The motion fails 2-3.
Okay, thank you.
So motion on the item as presented?
Okay, I need a second.
Second.
Okay, Mauricio?
Commissioner Joseph,
No.
Vice Mayor Viscara,
Yes.
Commissioner Stuyvesant,
No.
Commissioner Lama,
Yes.
Mayor Svechen.
Yes.
The ordinance passes on first reading 3-2. Second reading will be scheduled for April.
Okay. And if we can, for the next reading, have all the additional details.
How
Thank
can
you.
Sorry.
All right, next
How can
item.
you vote without Maya receiving those documents?
Because I don't need those documents. We've reviewed all of this already. Go, this
You
is,
cannot review something you don't have.
next item.
Next item is 7A. It's a public hearing for a resolution approving a vision document inclusive of the geographic area known as Town Center North and neighborhood business zoning districts.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commissioners. We are presenting to you tonight the final product of the Sunny Isles Beach Vision Planning for Tomorrow effort, which is in the form of the document before you. We're joined tonight by Caitlin Forbes from Complete Cities Planning Group, who started this effort in 2023, and we officially launched the public outreach effort in 2024. The area known as Town Center North currently doesn't have any comprehensive plan policies supporting it, which is really hindering redevelopment in the area. And similarly, the neighborhood business districts, which is the mixed-use business and the neighborhood business future land use categories, currently conflict with the land development regulations. So before we bring to you specific policy amendments to fix those problems, we went to the community to see if the vision for those areas remains the same as when the city was incorporated with this first comprehensive plan, or if it has changed. And so that's what is being presented to you tonight. The vision document is a guiding document, but we still need to bring forward to you those specific policy amendments that would come in the future. So with that, I'll hand it over to Caitlin.
Thank you.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the Commission. Caitlin Forbes with Complete Cities Planning Group. On behalf of the planning staff, we're excited to present the final vision document and product to discuss tonight. Guys, if you get seasick, zoom back to the beginning here. Okay. So tonight we're going to be talking about the history of the project, how we got to this step, the public outreach process and findings that got us here, the vision plan itself, and the contents of the plan and the next steps moving forward. So how did we get here? Several years ago, a planning analysis was done that identified inconsistencies between your comprehensive plan and your land development regulations, and also noted that there was a need for clear upper maximums for various land use categories. It found that it was ambiguous in the comprehensive plan and or conflicted with your land development regulations. So before going down the process of establishing those upper maximums, the city wanted to take a moment and determine whether the vision for Town Center North, as originally established in your early 2000s comprehensive plan, still stood, or if there was a different direction for this area in terms of redevelopment plans based on the surrounding redevelopment that happened in the area, particularly east of Collins and in the surrounding neighborhoods. So the area for Town Center North is shown on the map here, generally west of Collins, north of 162nd Street. The public outreach process was a fundamental and iterative process throughout the vision document drafting, and the various efforts are in here. Primary efforts was the establishment of the focus group, different meetings, each the meeting before. Ultimately, the suggestions from the focus group are included in the presentation here and were implemented, of course, into the vision document. We got a lot of great feedback from the team there that included a wide range of different stakeholders within the city. We also held 2 different open houses. We got over 400 respondents to our online survey that was open to everyone as part of the general public. We hosted different pop-up events and met with the senior roundtable. We also did different one-on-one meetings with the property owners and commissioners, and we held at least 3 different commission workshops over the last several years. So the public opinion and general consensus summary is shown on the screen. Essentially what we heard at the end of the day was don't repeat the east side. There is a desire for this lower scale, pedestrian-oriented and more neighborhood-serving district within the city. Ideally, the term beachy village was kind of coined, and that's what the pattern of the future redevelopment was kind of envisioned as, is this, again, lower scale beachy village environment. There was an overall desire to update and or redevelop the commercial plazas. If it wasn't total redevelopment, the various stakeholders did want to see different aesthetic updates to the commercial centers. They gave a lot of good suggestions and input as to what that looks like. One of the things you'll hear repeated throughout the presentation is a call for increased open space and varied open space, as well as enhancing the treatment along Collins Avenue. It's something that could become a unique feature for Town Center North and perhaps create a precedent in other areas. As I mentioned, the focus group gave us some great guiding principles that are the foundation of the vision plan in conjunction with the other stakeholders. Generally summarized as, again, keeping height away from Collins Avenue. You'll hear that repeated in addition to the open space. Improving the pedestrian experience and really focusing on the public realm, meaning what you experience as a pedestrian as you move and walk through the space through Town Center North. And incorporating structured parking was noted as creating an opportunity for additional infill and more efficient and effective parking plans throughout the Town Center North. So we met with the commission, as I mentioned, 3 different times. The dates are shown on the screen here. We asked a series of different questions out the commission side and make with the public. The overarching question was whether the original town center vision still stood. We asked whether there were certain trade-offs that the commission would be willing to give to entice redevelopment and what those would look like. We talked about what residential and commercial redevelopment would look like and where that would go. Collins Avenue treatment and design was a topic of discussion, as well as the overall form and scale and character of the building location and where that height should be concentrated. So what we heard was that the original vision did not stand, that the new vision was more nuanced, and that you'd prefer to see a separation of the commercial and residential areas in terms of the east-west half split that currently exists. The commercial should stay in the general vicinity of where it currently lives, and that there should be a protection of the existing residential areas, that those were well liked and enjoyed by the public and should remain generally the same. There was also a discussion about the height of those commercial centers, generally leaning towards alignment with the general public, which is for that lower scale village environment, but potentially allowing for some additional height with mixed use development, as long as the height is kept away from Collins Avenue, again, consistent with what we heard from the public. We also discussed the redevelopment of the existing shopping centers and what that looked like, and what the parking redevelopment scenarios could look like, and how we could better utilize that space by having infill development in the structured parking, as I mentioned before, and we generally discussed not requiring but allowing for ground floor retail in the residential area, but ultimately through further discussions landed on stronger division between the two uses. So all of that outreach got us to the vision document that's before you. You have the printed copy for reference, and the vision document, what is it? It's ultimately a culmination of all this public outreach, and it sets a macro level vision for redevelopment over the next 20 years. Ultimately, it'll guide and inform future comprehensive plan amendments and land development code amendments, as Amy mentioned earlier. So on the first page, or around there, is the overarching planning principles that are summarized, and these are gone into in more detail on the following pages. To micro individual sites. So the overall character is one of the first chapters, and again, the stakeholders envision a pedestrian-oriented, low-scale village environment centered around walkable streets and varied open spaces. Again, the term beachy village, and you can see some of the specifics listed on the screen. Overall, the desire to limit intensity and density, with the caveat that the commission may consider additional height and intensity on certain parcels where warranted, and where the project demonstrates that it's meeting all other elements and truly providing a public benefit. The height along Collins with noted as having a preference of approximately 1 to 3 stories along Collins Avenue, in conjunction with, again, kind of keeping that scale away and maintaining the pedestrian feel at that ground level, keeping the height more towards the west. And of course, the open space. And one of the things that you'll see throughout some of the later chapters when we get to streets and circulation and parking is the concept of the park once atmosphere, so that you can park, leave your car, and enjoy all that the Town Center North has to offer. Here's some pictures that were included in the workshop and included in the reference. The street design and circulation is the next chapter. You can see that the emphasis is on creating new internal streets throughout Town Center North, at least on the eastern half, I should say, where the existing commercial centers are. That creates alternatives for pedestrians to experience and enjoy the district without being directly along Collins Avenue, and creates more of that pedestrian scale feel. And here's some pictures of well near existing were something that were being well enjoyed and liked. The commercial parking and circulation, again, a preference for structured parking to free up some of those large surface parking lots that could be better utilized, while also providing additional parking that better meets some of the public parking needs. We heard a need for not only more efficient parking, more convenient parking, but just additional parking in general. Here's a picture of the existing parking. Obviously, there's a lot that could be done. Either the surface parking lots to infill those, as we mentioned. When the structured parking garages are incorporated into redevelopment, it's suggested that along at least the street facing frontages, or when facing a public open space, that there's a liner building to help screen the parking garage component. It doesn't necessarily need to be around all 4 sides, but the spaces or facades that are facing those public realms should be screened. And there's also a component about convenience parking space, rather, the convenience grab and go type of restaurants to people that are just going to be there 10-15 minutes grabbing dinner and leaving. It's important for those retailers to have that type of parking as well, but on a much reduced scale as compared to the surface parking that we have currently. The open space was the plan was suggested throughout the planning process as a vital need. People really want spaces to be able to gather with the community in different forms and fashions. It doesn't need to be a large programmed park. It can be plazas and small pocket parks. It could be the Collins Ave Linear Park, like we had mentioned. That could be a new space that really creates a better pedestrian atmosphere, but also connects to some of the existing trails and parks in the area. So here's an example on the top, different landscape that the flexible not all of the programmed, it can just be flexible. And then getting to the buildings themselves, again, I'll repeat it because it's important, shifting the building mass away from Collins Avenue, feel where possible, with the caveat that you some larger podium style buildings when it's designed appropriately and mitigates its impact to the public realm and enhances the public realm through different design trade-offs. Focusing on limiting the commercial uses to the existing parcels and protecting the existing residential areas and not encroaching further into those residential areas was important. And here's some examples of what the redevelopment is. Scale and podium and the pedestrian realm scaling. And again, the existing residential to be the since the city was going through the process to any different concepts for these areas as well. These areas haven't been as developed as the east side of Collins in terms of redevelopment, so there's still redevelopment opportunities here. Here's the second slide showing the additional study area. And generally a lot of the same themes that were favored in town center in the northern as well. In scale, the focus on the additional open space, whether development, the pedestrian focus should be oriented towards Collins Avenue or flipped and focused towards Atlantic Boulevard, which would create a different character and feel for the area, but the consensus was generally split down the middle. There wasn't a strong consensus one way or the other, but there was a consensus to, again, in these areas, keep the height away from Collins Avenue and push it away from the right-of-way as much as possible. So in terms of next steps, the next steps would be, as Amy mentioned, to bring forward the comprehensive plan and land development regulation amendments that would implement the vision plan, with the caveat that we would be able to do that, bring that forward to you when legally permissible under SB 180. With that, we'd like to take a moment and say thank you to the Commission and to all the members of the public who were part of the process, including the focus group. Be available for questions.
Okay, thank you. Mauricio, do we have public speakers?
We do. Tracy Slavens.
I just want to clarify for the public that we serve as the land planning agency. So we already had this meeting. It's a little bit odd, so we're just doing it again to make it official. So please go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Tracy Slavens. My address is 3800 Northeast 1st Avenue, Suite 200. I'm here on behalf of Desert Properties. I wanted to ask that this resolution be amended to include additional language in the vision plan. This vision plan document was prepared without the participation of certain stakeholders, namely the commercial property owners within the subject areas. And recognizing that it has no legal force or effect at this time, we do need to ensure that the property owners' rights are not impaired by the adoption of this plan or future amendments to the comprehensive plan or zoning code. So we're not asking you to give anything to the property owners. We're just asking that you don't take away any rights that they have today. To protect those rights, we're asking that the language be inserted that I handed out during the LPA, and I'll read on the record again, to ensure that the plan isn't used to negatively impact property rights. So this new language reads, "It is important to note that the vision plan is just that, a proposed vision for possible future development within certain of the city's zoning districts. Neither the vision plan nor its subsequent adoption by the city operates to change the future land use designation or the district on any parcel. The vision plan does not operate to down plan or down zone any lands within the city. Notably, the vision plan does not seek to divest, take, or impair existing property rights. Those rights remain intact following the adoption of the plan. The city also notes that there is many as-built conditions, natural conditions, and prior approvals that may render the implementation of the vision plan inequitable in certain circumstances on a case-by-case basis. This vision plan is not intended to, nor shall it, down zone or down plan any property rights. So again, I ask that the resolution and the vision plan be amended to include this language, and I ask that it be incorporated into the record from what I handed out during the LPA. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have other speakers?
No other, yes, Stephen Hirsch.
Stephen Hirsch, 17201 Collins. I was a member of the focus group back in '24, and I just want to make a couple comments. First and foremost,
Steve, can you just put it
speak into the
closer?
mic?
sorry. First and foremost, I want to thank the city for the process I think they went through. They made every effort, based on my estimation, possible from our focus group and then all the outreaches that they did. And I think Amy, Caitlin, and Jeff, who was also part of the group, really made a concerted effort to try to ascertain what the sampling that they had available of our city wanted to do with the west side of Collins in the North Town Center and in the business district. Right now, this document's aspirational, but it needs to become in some way operational, and that's where ultimately the city commission has to pass land development rights for these particular areas. What is critical is that as an attorney, but I'm not a zoning attorney. Zoning is just so complicated that we need to really make sure we all know that our property owners have rights. Conversely, the city has rights and needs that's best for our residents. We need to try to collaborate and put something together that will, to the best extent possible, accomplish the visions that reflected in this vision document that is also consistent with what our property owners anticipate or need to do or want to do with their property. If it was easy, it would be done already, but it's not easy. It's going to be complicated, but it needs to go where it strengthens our city, and that we, as best as possible, accomplish the goals of this vision document while understanding the property owner's rights and trying again to work towards it better for both. Thank you.
Thank you.
Aldo and Enderica.
Hello.
Good evening. Aldo Enderica, 16701 Collins Avenue, on behalf of the ownership group of the Newport Hotel and 16700, the parking lot for the Newport. First of all, I just want to say thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, and everyone in the city for all the time and thought that went into planning, putting together this vision plan. We are in support and share the vision of a thoughtful and pedestrian-friendly town center north, and appreciate the city's effort to plan for this future. However, we are concerned about the proposal that may eliminate or significantly reduce existing development rights on private property. We believe the vision can be achieved while still respecting the existing rights of property owners and not negatively impact their existing property rights. Currently, as drafted, there is interpretation that can be taken from here that is to reduce future development intensity and density in these existing properties.
Thank you.
No further speakers, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Public comment is closed. Just a reminder, if anybody wants to speak on any item, please go ahead and sign up in the back and bring it to the city clerk. Okay, I'll hear from the commission. Someone like to start? And I know that we all spoke about this earlier, but for the benefit of the public here, if you'd like to repeat whatever.
I'll start.
Please, go ahead.
I mean, in the previous meeting, which was like, it feels like 10 minutes ago, I'm someone who lives in that area, and I'm very satisfied with the outcome. I really like the linear park idea, and we definitely, we know that we don't control those spaces, but we need to be ready if and when the owners decide to redevelop, so that the parameters are there. I mean, I remember when we discovered the I forget what it was. It's like the 6 extra floors that weren't supposed to be built that caused the split of all of this.
Yes.
That was like 7 years ago. Like, we've literally been talking and thinking about this for 7 years. So I don't favor like kicking the can down because there's going to be a new commission or some new configuration of this commission. To the contrary, I think those of us sitting up here have been thinking and dealing with this longer than anybody who's going to replace some of us up here. So I think it's time, and I support it.
Thank you. Mr. Joseph, do you have anything to add?
Well, I can only hope. I actually agree with the vision plan, the way it was presented and the way it was drafted. I can only hope that it gets implemented in that fashion. We have developers in the city, not all of them, but some that would love to get their grips on the west side and duplicate the east side, which would basically destroy the city. The residents, even the people that are living on the east side, it would not be to their benefit to have the west side developed in the same manner as the east side. So in that regard, this vision makes livability in this city something that everyone could be happy about and have a thriving city. And I just hope that it can be implemented in a fashion that developers that do own the property on the west side will be satisfied to, and I know it's all about dollars regarding development, but I hope they could consider the end result of what this city becomes and is for the benefit of everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. I had a few questions. I don't know if it's through the manager or Amy regarding the process. One of you mind? And again, a lot of this is for the benefit of the public that wasn't here earlier. Based on the amount of time and meetings that we've had and input, do you feel that it's been an inclusive process? And I know that that's somewhat of a subjective question, but I know that there was, we had 400 participants, correct? That's for the survey. We had, correct me if I'm wrong, 3 workshops.
With the city commission, yes.
The city commission. And I know that we've also included the developers. How did you have those conversations with the developers?
We had one-on-one meetings with the property owners at the beginning of the study process and towards the end, and we also shared the draft vision document with them and collected their comments and tried to address them in the vision document as well. All of the activities for the public outreach events were open to the public. The focus group meetings were open to the public, and we collected feedback even from non-focus group members via these workbooks that we provided. We had open houses, pop-up events, and the online survey.
Okay. So you feel comfortable that it was an inclusive process?
Yes.
If, to Commissioner Joseph's point and to Vice Mayor as well, let's assume that this gets approved. What's the likelihood of us ever seeing this vision?
Well, I'd like to think that it will come to fruition, but with the Senate Bill 180 implications, we're just waiting. We're kind of in a holding pattern on making any code amendments that are more burdensome or restrictive, which is really an elusive concept. So we will start drafting the amendments, work with the city attorney's office to see if we can bring them forward or not. We'll also be sure that we share them with the property owners and make it a transparent process as well. And then bring it to you once we are able to.
So we can't force the plazas to become these beautiful, interactive green spaces, but we can potentially change the code to incentivize them?
To incentivize incorporating these elements, and then potentially, and this will come in future amendments, but maybe architectural guidelines, streetscape requirements, things like that, or requiring more open spaces in the developments.
But if they're not looking to develop the plaza, then nothing changes anyways.
Correct. These are just policies that will be in place for when they do come forward to redevelop.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. Anyone else have questions or comments from the commission? Commissioner Stewardson?
Okay. So I asked this question earlier. How much all this process cost? Do we have the number?
Do we know how much the consultant cost?
The consultants and everything else, yeah.
We'd have to go back and calculate it.
Okay, so once again, we're voting something that we don't know how much it costs. Okay. About the focus group, was pick and choose by the staff, not by the elected officials. So the staff decided who was going to be part of the focus group. So I do have one question for Amy. You talk about the necessity for additional parking, or that's part of the presentation, the additional parking for the plazas, right?
We're talking about structured parking in future developments.
Correct. Okay. So I spoke to the developers. That was it. Thank you. Of the biggest lands, and actually they told to me that they were not part of the conversation. That they did receive courtesy calls and that they got together at some point, but their comments were not addressed or were not part of this. And so I do believe we are opening ourselves and the city and the taxpayer to big liabilities. We're infringing on people's rights. So my last comment is really beautiful pictures, beautiful renderings, but basically we are designing the arcade plazas and the deserts and Newport properties for free for them, because we are paying for all this, and they don't have to accept none of it. So once again, my issue is not just with the product, but with the process. So I'm not in favor of this.
Thank you. Commissioner Lama, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I like the vision. I hope it can get implemented. There is a lot of stars that need to line up. Obviously, you have property owners that are, a couple are here today, and they have expressed some sort of apprehension to this. They're afraid that their property rights are going to be infringed. But moving forward, and obviously this is not something that's going to be implemented anytime soon, if it will be implemented at all, because you have RK. RK owns most of the property that is in that area. So I think they're going to have to be cognizant at one point to work with the city to implement something that is beautiful, and it adds to the well-being and the overall, let's say, benefit of the residents. I think that we are a junction here in this city where we do need to start building where the structures are not on top of us, they're not overwhelming the citizens, there's pedestrian safety, and everything can work in a wholesome manner. I go to El Doral, and I see what they've done with their downtown. I like that. I look at Dania Point, I look at other cities that have been able to implement something where they do include development, they do include, you know, an aspect of entertainment, shopping, restaurants, et cetera, and they do it in a, I would say, in a very holistic manner. So I think that the stakeholders, including the developers and the property owners, need to be cognizant, and we all need to work together. I know that it's not going to be an easy process if you know, it really depends on them, because if RK doesn't want to develop anything, there's nothing we could do to force them. So, and then another point is that obviously we have this vision plan, and this is just a vision plan, but the next step, hopefully the issues with SB 180 get fixed, and we as a municipality can move forward to clean up our comp plan and our land development regulations, where we could start moving forward and see how development in Town Center North can shape up in the years to come. So I think it's going to be an arduous process if it gets going at all. And then whoever replaces us here in the commission, because this is going to be many years from now, they will just have to, you know, everybody will have to get to work, roll their sleeves up, and, you know, see how we could implement this for the good of the community.
Okay.
Yeah.
Commissioner Joseph, you wanted something?
Yes, I have one additional question for Amy. Is she still here?
She's still here.
Yeah.
Hi, Amy. I know you knew this was coming. So I have a question for you regarding the fact that when we have proposals from the staff presented to us, it always says staff recommends adoption. So I would like to know, the proposals that you recommend for us to adopt, are they, when you work on them, you work on them in a manner that's most restrictive, middle of the road, or most, or least restrictive?
Mayor?
Yeah, please.
I'll answer. Amy's not, yeah. We discussed this before. If we bring something to you, it's based on our recommendation as directed by you and your policy decisions. So the experts have gone back based on your direction and put together the vision plan. What you see in the vision plan is our recommendation, but ultimately it's up to you. If you disagree with it,
the vision plan. I'm talking about what comes after the vision plan.
that's up to you all.
For the comprehensive
You all would
plan,
direct that, right?
I would like to see 3 proposals presented to the commission for us to look at and to ponder and to accept. The most legally restrictive, a middle of the road, and a least restrictive.
That would be directed by you all as a group.
Well, that's what I'm asking for now. If you need the commission's opinion as to whether we should have 3 plans presented to us, then let's do that right now.
Commissioner Joseph, right now, we're just looking at the vision.
Well,
We're not voting on a plan.
No, because after we vote on this tonight, Amy, once HB 180 is, whatever happens with that, they're going to go ahead and work on a proposal for us. So I would like to see 3 proposals presented to us for us to vote on.
And as I mentioned on Tuesday, it's very difficult to, when you say, you sort of put them in these 3 boxes, the most restrictive, middle of the road, and there's not these sets of laws that you can go through and just apply it evenly to those scenarios. It depends on the property, it depends on the location, it depends on the zoning. There's too many variables for staff to be able to say. I mean, certainly we take the direction from the commission and they make recommendations based on what you provide, And you can tweak that any way you want. You want to make it more restrictive, I'll advise whether it's something that's risky, not risky, and that's what we do from the legal standpoint. But there's no way to come and say, okay, this is the least restrictive, this is the most restrictive. There's just no way to do that.
Well, okay, that's not a good answer because I don't know who on staff is preparing the resolution or the ordinance that comes to us. I don't know whether they live in, sorry, Stan, let me finish, please. I know you were getting ready to speak. Anyway, I don't know if the person or the group that's preparing the resolution or ordinance lives in the city. They go home at night. We live with what they present to us to vote on. I need to know, and I've asked this question before, whether they have in mind to protect what the residents of the city and the commission as elected officials vote for, considering the people that voted for us, to protect the livability of our city. Okay? It has nothing to do with the developers. The developers at some point have to understand that no matter what, they have residents that they're looking to sell apartments on the east side. If those people understand that the west side is going to be unlivable and it's going to make the city unlivable for traffic, for going out to enjoy a meal, no one is going to want to live here. Okay? So at some point, you have to think that it's not all about dollars, but it's about livability. So I'm asking whatever staff it is that works on these ordinances and resolutions that are presented to the commission, because I never know what they're thinking. I don't have any interaction with them while they're working on these things. We're not allowed to, according to the way the city is set up and the city manager has it set up. So we don't have any interaction until they actually present to us whatever it is they want us to vote on with their recommendation. Okay? And I'm just tired of seeing the wording, staff recommends approval. Okay? Because I never know what their thoughts are when they were working on what they're now presenting to us. Like I said, if they were thinking in the most restrictive manner, or let's just have it, be to the developer's delight, and we don't really care livability or what happens traffic-wise in the future. So I need to see 3 proposals so that I know which one, I know for myself which one I want to vote for, to have this city be a city to be proud of and the most livable in the future.
Mr. City Manager, you wanted to add something?
I don't have anything to add to that.
Oh,
I can change the verbiage from staff recommends approval to staff presents this for your approval.
No, that
We'll
doesn't
change the
do it though,
verbiage.
because
We
it's
have a
only one
professional.
proposal.
No, we have a professional staff, and this is why they're not here to answer questions in these political situations. They're a professional staff. They're bringing forward to you, based on their expertise, based on my direction of your policy decisions. So you can vote for it or against it. What is your opinion? You're entitled to. But what you're asking, I could have 5 different proposals and bringing forward. So we take it back, we based on the vision from the residents, who ultimately we all serve, and bring it to you as the policymakers. So I don't know how we could do it any differently. Would you like 3 proposals for every item we bring forward? No, we're bringing it forward based
what
on
it is, yes.
practices and procedures of good governance, always. It's what we do daily.
Commissioner
It shouldn't
Joseph,
be in question.
if I can get clarification, are you saying you want 3 vision proposals? Because that's what
Yes,
we're voting on right now. You don't, so you're against this?
No, not 3 vision. I'm fine with the vision. The vision now will be taken forward to an ordinance.
No,
To update our comprehensive plan. Whoever is going to be drafting the new comprehensive plan, I'm not in their head, okay? I don't know what they're thinking, whether they're a more conservative thinking person, thinking to protect the residents, or if they're on the side of the developer or any developer to, work up a plan that's more liberal, that causes us to have a city in the end that's not livable.
All right.
Mayor, if I can, staff does not have the authority to impose their beliefs so they can't make those determinations. They can't decide that, well, I think that the city's residents want this or that. They're not allowed to do that under this form of government. That's your job. So when they come to you, they have a professional recommendation. If they do, let's say we recommend a 3.0 FAR, it's up to you to decide yes, no, do you want to change it? They can answer the implications. But whether it's me, whether it's staff or whatever else, we cannot impose our beliefs and say, I know what the residents want, and this is what I'm going to think, and this is how I'm going to produce it. That's for you all because you're elected.
If you're saying 3.0 FAR that they're proposing to us, okay, but a more stringent would be 2.0.
May I?
And they're not presenting that to us, then that's not fair to the commission.
All
But
right.
it could be, you could present 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, 5.0, 6.0, 7.0. I mean, at what point, we have to make a recommendation as professional
saying 10,
staff.
I'm saying 3 points of view, at least 3 points of view.
Commissioner Joseph, I'm giving the floor to Commissioner Lama. He wanted to add something.
Yeah, so when we're doing this right now, and then the way I envision the next step would be for us to have workshops and discuss as a body, and talk to staff, have a couple workshops, have meetings to see what we want and how best to implement this vision. I mean, I'm not looking at this from a standpoint where now it's on staff's hands and they're going to come back to us with 3 different plans. The way I see it is that we're going to have discussions.
Give us just one
Let him
plan.
finish,
No,
please.
no. But what I'm saying is that, no, we're going to be involved. The way we were involved with workshops for the vision plan, I'm looking at us being involved in conversations and meeting
Right.
in workshops. I don't want them to come back to me with 3 plans without having a back and forth and a conversation and input and then some more observations. I really want
we
us
always
to
have
get
the
this
back
right.
and forth.
No, but this has got to be a very involved process where we are very, engaged and connected, and we direct this, basically.
But I'm talking about the end result.
No,
The
but
end-
that's
how
what
do
I'm
you
saying,
know-
the end result, we are going to guide that, we're going to guide that. I mean, but I see it more as like us going back and forth with them and having workshops and then coming up with a final product or a couple of final options. I don't know. I don't see it as us.
Let-
All right,
Let's
wait. Commissioner Joseph,
sorry.
hold on a second. Because I think we're going way off the rails here.
No, we're not, because
we are
we're-
only voting right now and discussing the vision. We're not implementing anything else. To Commissioner Lama's point, there's going to be additional conversations.
We'll deal with this at the workshop.
So,
No, but
That's the place.
not really. That's wishful thinking that we're going to have these conversations in the future. It hasn't happened since I've been here. So the staff knows that anything that they bring to us, you guys are going to approve it and vote for it, even without reading it. It has happened in the past that they bring us a contract in that moment. Actually, it was the Newport people. You guys bring us that contract from the city attorney recommended we vote for it, a 10-year contract without reading it. We receive it in the moment. So the staff knows that they have a yes by default. The code word is, we recommend this and it's gonna pass. So wishful thinking to think that in the future we're gonna be more involved. And I hope that you guys had this feeling years before, not only a few months before getting out of office. Because now we are left with this mess that we are going to have to clean up with the new people that get elected. And to the point that now we don't have here the staff to answer those questions. The staff works for the people of Sunny Isles Beach. The residents are paying everybody's salary and everybody's expenses to be here, this building and everything else. So yes, we should have those people right there able to answer questions, not only from us, but also from the residents. This is the less transparent administration ever. I remember being on that side, sitting down there in that microphone, asking questions and interacting with you guys. Now, people cannot ask questions because if they ask, the mayor says, we are not answering any of those questions. So, zero transparency, and the staff knows. This is a dysfunctional commission, and it is good for everyone except for the residents.
I agree. We should be able to have a back and forth between the commission and the residents.
Thank you. All right. I'll take a motion.
Mayor, if I can just reassert the objection I had earlier to the language that was proposed by Ms. Slavens, that my counsel to you is not to add it.
Okay, I don't think anyone was planning to, but okay.
So I just want to comment on some of Commissioner Stewart's.
I'm so sorry, Commissioner, if I may interject really quickly. We've exceeded the 30-minute limit for debate. So if we want to continue, a motion to continue.
Can we just let
Yeah.
Commissioner
It's up to
Lama
you all,
and
just
then-
letting you know.
Are we over the 30?
Yes,
Yes,
we are.
we
So
exceeded.
motion to continue for
Right,
Alex.
thank you,
Allow
thank you.
Alex, and then we can
So,
keep going.
so talking about this mess has been present since I came into office, okay? And I specifically spoke with the city manager, the previous city manager, and the current city manager and staff about fixing this. This is something that I've been pushing, I am very concerned about, because I think within the first month that I was here, we got hit with a lawsuit. There was a whole issue with Arcade and the building that was proposed, et cetera, et cetera. There's a big issue here with our comp plans and our LDRs. And I think these needs to be cleaned up right away, and we're heading in that direction. This is a mess that was not caused by this commission, okay? This is a mess that was caused by the founding fathers, unfortunately, where they wrote a comp plan and LDRs that had huge discrepancies and were open for misinterpretation. And that's where we are right now. So I take issue when we are getting the blame, and the blame should be directed in other ways, okay? So we're trying to fix this. Unfortunately, it hasn't happened as fast as possible, but we are here talking about it. So I don't understand what the issue is and what the problem is. I mean, we're discussing the issue right now. The next step, just like we're involved with the vision plan, whether you like the process or not like the process, we were involved. I gave my opinion. I gave what my suggestions were, et cetera, and I plan to do so when we implement any density, intensity, et cetera, to be able to clean up the comp plan and the LDRs.
Okay, would you like to make a motion?
So moved.
Need a
Second.
Second. Mauricio?
Vice Mayor Viscarro,
Yes.
Commissioner Stuyvesant,
No.
Commissioner Lama,
Yes.
Commissioner Joseph,
Yes.
Mayor Svechen.
Yes.
The resolution passes 4-1.
Okay. Next item, please.
Excuse me, 1 second. Next item is ordinances for second reading. 8A is an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, Florida, amending Chapter 256, Article 6, entitled Motorized Scooters, Coasters, Skateboards, and Other Similar Wheeled Devices. Section 256-47, entitled Requirements and Restrictions. Section 256-48, entitled Penalties and Enforcement. And 256-49, entitled Effective Date of Enforcement of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, establishing age restriction for the operation of motorized scooters, requiring government-issued photographic identification for the operation of motorized scooters, and then enhancing penalties and enforcement, providing for repealer, providing for codification, providing for an effective date.
Okay. Mr. City Manager?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is the second reading of our scooter ordinance. In between the first and the second reading, you advised us to modify the enforcement period to 60 days.
Big mistake.
Okay. Do we have any public speakers?
Yes, ma'am. We have Arius Tiger.
Tiger 262 Atlantic Island. I urge you to vote on this matter because I almost killed 2 kids on the scooter. They don't look at the light, whether it's red or green. I have green coming out from the island. They just zoom. Those kids are probably 9, 10 years old, 2 on each scooter. And I'm surprised that nobody got killed there yet. But somebody will get killed. I recommend to enforce. They come, I don't know, from Poinciana or from the other building, and they have no fear of nothing. They just zoom in and out. So please vote for it.
Thank you. Any other speakers? All right. Please go ahead, Commissioner.
Yes. So I believe that this commission has made a tremendous mistake delaying the enforcement of the scooter ordinance, that we have 2 months now before school ends. We should be enforcing this, give a 30-day learning period starting now, have the enforcement in place in the last month of the school session, and give this over the summer for parents to think about what's going to happen at the end of August when their kids can't take the scooters to school. If we implement what the commission now has on for us to vote on tonight, there will be chaos at the end of August and September, and I believe it's just going to cause our police department just unnecessary anxiety, expense, and with the parents having over the summer period to consider their options for getting their kids to school at the end of August, I believe that's a much better option, and I ask the commission to reconsider.
Thank you, Commissioner Joseph. I would support that. Actually, I agree with you. Thinking about it, you're right. But anyone else?
I disagree.
I know, I remember.
Okay, so, because families have already set up their commuting and whatever, like they already have it set up. And I think about like I put myself in the space of like, okay, what if you're, a single mom who has to go to work and you don't have, this is how you figured it out, right? You figured out how to make your life work. Except the last month of school, it all gets derailed for you. And now you have like a big problem, right? So I think that if we wait on the enforcement, we can do the educational piece. We can start putting the word out and really, but not be disruptive towards the end of the school year. And then you have the summer for the education, and we can start the enforcement. I think, especially with the ID piece, it's not every 16-year-old has an ID, so give them the opportunity to go get it. Like even if you do have a 16-year-old right now who would be zipping around, let's say even if it were appropriately, he would be in violation because he hasn't had the opportunity to get the ID. So we have to give people give them an opportunity to succeed in the compliance. I don't think it's fair for people. I don't agree with the reliance, especially for the little kids, and I think we're very lucky that we haven't had any serious issues so far.
So why are you looking to extend it then?
Let Vice Mayor finish.
Well, because I think that it's unfairly disruptive. But that's how are you gonna disrupt the schooling, and then maybe they send them on the scooter anyway? I think let families give them the opportunity to be able to adjust. And then you have the summer to really like dig into it. But, you know, I mean, I don't love it, Jerry, but I think I would just draw the line in a different place.
I think the sooner we get the young kids off the street with these scooters, we're going to save a life.
All right, Commissioner Joseph, anyone else from the commission? Commissioner Stewart, Mama?
No, I mean, we discussed this previously,
Okay.
and yeah, I'm okay with the way it is right now.
Do you want to make a motion to amend the ordinance?
I would like to make a motion to amend, yes.
To amend it to?
Okay. So right now, we're in March to start the training immediately, inform the school through whatever city emails, city postings at the school, asking for the help of the principal to put out notices over the school loudspeaker, notices sent home to parents that the city can supply to the school, and have this ordinance take effect in May.
Okay. I need a second. Guys, Jerry, sorry. Okay.
Mayor,
Okay,
if I
we
may
have to
just
keep
add
our
one
fingers
thing.
crossed.
Just so you know, based on the 60 days, we were looking to start enforcement on June 1st, and school does not actually end until June 4th. So there will be like a 3-day overlap of where we would be enforcing during the school year if we were to continue as planned.
Okay, I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
Mauricio?
Commissioner Stuyvesant?
Yes.
Commissioner Lama?
Yes.
Commissioner Joseph?
No.
Vice Mayor Vizcarra?
Yes.
Mayor Svechen?
Yes.
The ordinance passes 4-1.
Okay, next item.
Next item, excuse me. 8B is an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, Florida, amending Chapter 265, Article 5, Section 265-11, entitled Procedures of General Applicability, and Section 265-18, entitled Administrative Site Plan Review of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sunny Isles Beach to clarify, update, and streamline development application procedures, providing for repealer, providing for severability, providing for transmittal to the state land, excuse me, not that part, and providing for an effective date.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commissioners. This is second reading of this ordinance to amend Article 5 of the Land Development Regulations. This will remove the requirement for paper submittals of zoning applications and also reiterate that all elements of site plan approvals and the conditions of approval must be maintained in perpetuity unless the site plan modification is approved by the City Commission. There have been no changes since first reading.
Thank you. Do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'll take any comments from the commission. Take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Lama?
Yes.
Commissioner Joseph?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Vizcarra?
Yes.
Commissioner Stuyvesant?
Yes.
Mayor Svechen?
Yes.
The ordinance passes 5-0.
Okay, now to resolutions.
Now it's resolutions 9A and 9B together, Mayor.
Okay.
9A is a resolution approving the terms and conditions of promissory note for the payment of approved floor area ratio bonuses in the amount of $13,040,479.34 for the approved site plan application PZ 2025-08 submitted by MBRE Investments LLC. 9B is a resolution approving the terms and conditions of a promissory note for the payment of transferable development rights in the amount of $13,609,370.25 for the approved site plan application PZ 2025-08 submitted by MBRE Investments LLC for the project entitled Miami Beach Club.
Okay. Who's presenting this?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commissioners, the Miami Beach Club site plan was approved by the City Commission last month. And in that approval, the applicant requested for to allow a payment agreement for the payment for development bonuses and the TDR purchase, and that is to take the form of a promissory note. A condition of approval was to split the promissory note into two, one for the development bonuses and one for the TDR purchase, which is the two items before you now, 9A and 9B. Just to highlight some of the terms of the payment agreement, the interest will accrue on the unpaid principal balance at a rate of prime plus 0.5% per annum. The applicant shall pay annual interest payments on the principal amount, and the principal amount and the accrued interest shall be due and payable no later than 90 days following the issuance of the first TCO for the project. With that, I'm available if you have any questions.
Thank you. Do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
All right, any questions from the commission?
I have a comment.
Go ahead.
Okay, so in January, we had our first approval meeting regarding this project. It got delayed 1 month in order to give the residents of Armani and Ocean 2 the opportunity to work with the developers to soothe some of their issues regarding vibration and other effects of the development. To date, I've been told that the developers, even though the commission caused a 1 month delay, which I was looking for a 3-month delay, thinking that there might not be any movement on the developer's part, except for that they did accept vibration vibration testing. They have not gone any further to work with the residents of Ocean 2 and Armani. I'd like to ask the attorney for the developers, is that the case or not?
Commissioner Joseph, that's not what we're voting on right now.
I understand.
Okay.
Yes.
So
she can't answer?
It's not that she can't answer. She's not here to answer those questions.
I understand, but it's her choice. She can say, no, I don't want to answer.
Are you prepared to answer that question?
To some extent, yes. Tracy Slavens, my address is 3800 Northeast 1st Avenue, Suite 200, Miami, Florida, on behalf of MBRE Investments, LLC. Conversations are ongoing. I have seen some correspondence. I am not the author of the agreements that are being negotiated, so I'm not copied on all correspondence, but I do know that there is communication happening.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Anyone else? I'll take a motion.
So move.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Can you say?
No.
No. Okay. Mauricio?
9C is a resolution authorizing the transfer of development rights from La Playa Beach Associates to La Playa 2 LLC in the amount of $137,977.26 of square feet of floor area ratio and 58 dwelling units.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. In 2015, the City Commission approved the site plan, at that time known as La Playa Veradero or La Playa Beach, for the project located at 18801 Collins Avenue. It is now referred to as the St. Regis Residences. In their 2015 site plan approval, the Commission authorized the transfer of TDRs from the city's public TDR bank account to La Playa Beach Associates LLC, which was the applicant for the site plan application, in the amount of 283,485 square feet of floor area and 119 dwelling units. The project is going to be a phased development. So the South Tower is known as Phase 1 and the North Tower is known as Phase 2. And due to the nature of the phased development of the project, the property was divided into two separate folios in 2015, resulting in the Phase 1 project being at 18801 Collins Avenue and Phase 2 at 18805 Collins Avenue. Each phase is going to be owned by two separate legal entities. Now, in 2015, all of the TDRs were assigned to La Playa Beach Associates LLC, who will retain ownership of the Phase 1 parcel. But now a different entity, La Playa 2 LLC, will own the Phase 2 parcel, or the North Tower, at 18805 Collins Avenue. So what this resolution does is it authorizes a transfer between the two entities for just the portion of TDRs that's needed for the North Tower, which is the 137,977 square feet of floor area, representing a total value of $17,247,158. And I'm available if you have any questions.
Thank you. Do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
All right, are there any questions or comments from the commission? I'll take a motion, please. I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next item.
We're going to hear the next 4 items together. 9D is a resolution approving the terms and conditions of a promissory note for the payment of approved floor area ratio bonuses in the amount of $5,051,904 for Phase 1 South Tower portion of the approved site plan application submitted by LaPlaya Associates. 9E is a resolution approving the terms and conditions of a promissory note for the payment of transferable development rights in the amount of $5,269,907 for the Phase 1 South Tower portion of the approved site plan application submitted by LaPlaya Associates. 9F is a resolution approving the terms and conditions of a promissory note for the payment of approved floor area ratio bonuses in the amount of $5,949,579 for Phase 2 North Tower portion of the approved site plan application submitted by LaPlaya Associates. And 9G is a resolution approving the terms and conditions of a promissory note for the payment of transferable development rights in the amount of $17,247,158 for the Phase 2 North Tower portion of the approved site plan application submitted by LaPlaya Associates.
Thank you.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commissioners, this is the promissory note terms for the St. Regis residences for both phases. The reason that there's 4 promissory notes before you is because we took the direction for Miami Beach Club project and applied it to this project as well, and separated the promissory notes into ones for the development bonuses and ones for the TDRs, and for the 2 separate phases. To highlight some of the terms of the promissory notes, they will accrue interest on the unpaid principal at a rate of prime plus 0.5% per annum. The applicant will pay quarterly interest payments on the principal amount, and the principal amount and the accrued interest shall be due and payable no later than 90 days following the issuance of the first TCO for the project. And there's an early payoff provision where if the principal amount is paid within 90 days of execution of the note, then the interest shall be waived. I'm available if you have any questions.
Thank you. Mauricio, do we have any speakers on any of the items?
No, ma'am.
Okay, since we're reading them all together, if anyone had any intention to speak on any of the items, I'll give you another opportunity. Okay?
I did have a question.
Please, go ahead.
Amy, I guess. What benefit, if any, is there to splitting the notes?
It was requested by the commission, and so I believe the purpose of it is to be able to track the interest that's accrued for both, so that way it can be applied to the different funds that it goes towards. All the money collected for bonuses and TDRs goes towards our capital improvement program, but this way we can track it separately, the interest that's accrued on the notes.
Okay, thank you.
That's it?
Yep.
Anyone else? I'll take a motion.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next item.
9H is a resolution confirming the balance of transfer of development rights currently held in the TDR bank accounts by the City of Sunny Isles Beach and private owners.
This is the annual bank account update to confirm the amount of TDRs that are currently owned by the city and what is available for purchase. Just some quick highlights of the annual report. The development rights for the Les Richelieu property located at 18126 Atlantic Boulevard was added to the city's public bank account. Since the last annual report, there have been 3 balcony enclosures at the Aquilina projects and the Miami Beach Club site plan approval. The remaining balance of the city's TDR bank available for purchase is 340,561 square feet of floor area and 219 dwelling units. Finally, since the last annual report, the city has collected $1,628,527.25 for the balcony enclosures and for the Miami Beach Club TDR deposit. To date, the St. Regis residences, the Bentley residences, and the Miami Beach Club projects are all subject to payment agreements for their TDR purchases, and that outstanding total is $50,417,939. I'm available if you have any questions.
Thank you. Mauricio, do we have public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Any questions from the commission?
No.
I'll take a motion.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next item, Mauricio.
The next item is 9I, a resolution approving an agreement with Full Moon Creative for audiovisual maintenance and production services.
City Manager.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this approves an agreement with Full Moon Creative, for the company that does our audio-visual maintenance for the chambers.
Thank you. Do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Are there any questions from the commission?
No.
Take a motion, please.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next item, please.
9J is a resolution approving a second amendment to the agreement with CBiz CPAs PC for professional auditing services.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is the company that is our independent auditor that audits our books every year.
Do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Any comments from the commission? I'll take a motion. Oh, wait.
I had just a question,
Sure.
and it's just coming to me now. We're supposed to switch companies every so many years, I think. Markham, is it every 5? Is this their last year? It's been, okay. All right. No, that was my question. Thank you.
Right, that's a good point. It came up during the agenda review that we have to switch the companies in order to maintain transparency and accountability. I'll take a motion.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Mauricio, just a quick note for clarification. The addition you have on here is a 9, you put it on as 9J for the addendum to the, so what?
The add-on? No, the add-on is 9Y.
1.
9J is additional information. So yes, that's a type.
Oh, okay.
So
all right.
that's for the,
Got it. Okay.
yeah,
All right, thank you.
9S actually.
Okay, go ahead. Next item.
9K is a resolution approving an agreement with governmentjobs.com to provide workforce management solutions.
City Manager?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is the company that provides our job posting and application tracking software.
Okay. Mauricio, do we have public speakers? Any comments from the commission?
No.
Take a motion.
Motion.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, next item, please.
9L is a resolution approving an agreement with Shift Construction and Development for the Gateway Pedestrian Elevator Enclosures Project.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is the company that will be providing enclosures for the elevators at Gateway Pedestrian Bridge. And the purpose of it is to protect the elevators that we've already installed from the elements. And a question came up, this will also be constructed of glass, so you'll be able to see through it.
Okay, do we have public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Understand?
Any questions from the commission?
Save me the trouble.
I'll take a motion.
Motion.
Second. Mama?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Second.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Next item.
9M is resolution approving a First Amendment to the agreement with Concrete Works and Paving to provide repair services for pavers, concrete, and asphalt citywide on an as-needed basis.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is the company that we use to provide routine repair for pavers, concrete, and asphalt throughout the city.
Thank you. Do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Any questions or comments from the commission? Commissioner Joseph?
Does this company only use non-porous concrete?
I should have expected that one. It's funny. It's funny. I don't know.
Well, can you look into it
Yes.
and have them get their approvals?
I will look into it.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, next item.
Let's pick it up.
9N is a resolution approving a First Amendment to the agreement with NBR Construction to provide additional time for final completion of construction services for the Intercoastal Sports Park and additional compensation.
Okay. City Manager?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this provides for additional time and final completion of Intracoastal Sports Park in an amount not to exceed $200,000.
Thank you. Mauricio, do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'll take any comments from the commission.
Excuse me, Mayor. Yes, we do. Ari Steiger.
Okay, thank you.
Harry Steiger, 262 Atlantic Island. Question, why does every project in the city takes a year to accomplish? The lifts for the police boats, I don't know. It's been done for months and months and it's not ready. The tennis court over there, they've been working on it for God knows how long. They have 2 guys working on it. It's already a year and something, and every time there's a change order. What is all those change orders? I'm in construction business. There's change orders if it's not on the plan. But once it's on the plan, why have change order? If they give you a proposal, they should stay by the proposal.
Anyone that
Thank you.
knows anything about construction, it has to drive them crazy.
Thank you.
Well-
Do we have any other speakers? Okay, take comments from the commission. Commissioner Stuyvesant, you're recognized.
Yeah, I completely agree with Ari. Actually, the original contract was 3.19 million, 3.190 millions, with a plus at 320,000, which is the 10% for contingency. So originally it was $3.5 million, okay? Now they're asking $500,000 more. It's gonna be over $4 million. Like you said, we don't have any details why. We don't have the change order. We don't have nothing. So apparently it was an artificial low bid, or we are not doing a good job tracking this, you know? Everybody wants to see those projects finish, but it has to be a little bit more seriousness about these contracts. Look what's happening across the street with the Tony Romas. Same thing, years and years, change order after change order. And apparently there is no fiscal responsibility with this. So I'm completely voting against this.
Thank you. Go ahead. Commissioner
Yes,
Joseph.
I would actually like to find out from Aventura. They totally reworked their Founders Park. I'd like to know how long it took. I'm going to be finding out tomorrow, and what the expense was, and then we will compare to our debacle.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any
No.
opposed?
Wait,
No.
Fabiola needs to be here.
No, she doesn't.
Okay, I'm opposed.
All right, next item.
So we have 3-4.
Well, what about you? You vote?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, I didn't hear.
Yeah, no, it's not, it's,
The resolution
It's a
passed 3-1.
Okay.
next item?
9O.
Oh, I have one other question, please, from Mauricio. Can I expect to have my documents tomorrow?
Yes, we'll do it as soon as possible, Commissioner.
No, I heard that 3 months ago.
We
No,
have
no,
it-
As soon
we
as
we
possible.
will, for sure.
We have it on the record. The clerk has
Okay,
committed to tomorrow.
9O is a resolution approving the purchase of an Arbach low-floor shuttle bus for Model 1 Commercial Vehicles, Inc.
Okay?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this allows for the purchase of a low-floor shuttle bus for our fleet, our shuttle.
All right, do we have public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Okay, any comments from the commission? Take a motion.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Mauricio, next item?
9P is a resolution approving a second amendment with MT Causely to provide non-exclusive structural inspection and plans review services on an as-needed basis.
City manager?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is actually approving a third amendment to the agreement with MT Causley to provide structural and inspection and plan review services on an as-needed basis.
Do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Okay, any comments for the commission? Take a motion.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next item, please.
9Q is a resolution approving an agreement with Rodriguez Architects to provide professional architectural services for the exterior renovation project at Government Center.
City manager?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this approves an agreement with Rodriguez Architects providing architectural services for our exterior renovations here at the Government Center, which includes the fountain, the pool, and electrical.
Do we have public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'll take comments from the commission. Motion?
I have a few comments.
Go ahead.
Okay, so listen to this, Ari. $70,000 does not buy one single paver, one single ounce of stucco, or a single lye. It is purely consultant and architectural fees to draw plans to renovate a fountain that already exists. Mauricio, were you able to put the renderings and that I sent you? Okay. Okay. So it took me a free AI app to make those renderings. I gave him a few. And no more than 5 minutes. But we are paying $70,000 for a consultant company with a lot of ties to other contracts in the city, which, by the way, I don't believe I know the consultants, so I'm not saying anything against them. And we're paying $70,000 for this. It's like the money bothers us, apparently. So other cities that they don't have our resources can be a little bit more creative. But $70,000 for this, when we can do it for free, we have a lot of people in our city that will be honored to do this for us. Mm-hmm. We can go to the college and make this some kind of an architectural fair for them to bring us something, a competition. But no, $70,000 for this.
Can I get some clarification from the city manager as to what exactly we're getting for the contract?
Yes.
It's not just the design, it's actual architectural and engineering. So how you make that happen, the lighting, the fountains, we have some underpaver broken pipes we need to fix, the pumps for the fountain, how the tile is adhered to the wall, plus we are redoing the pavers all in here because if you've noticed, they're all very trip hazards. So we are, it encompasses that whole area, not just the design like a visual, but the actual architect and engineering contract, construction documents so that we can go out to bid to actually build it.
But we have the experts here in the city, they can do that as well.
We do not have that on staff.
Oh, so we don't have that anymore because other projects have come to us that is being done in-house. So $70,000 just, again, for the project, for the engineering of this. We already have the lining. We already have the water fountain functioning. I actually took those pictures today just to put it in the AI app to give me those renderings. I think $70,000 for this is way too much money. When we're thinking that property taxes are going to be eliminated and we have to be fiscally responsible, at least we should defer this item because, again, this doesn't make any sense.
Have we considered if AI could be used to create these renderings for architectural or engineering purposes? Have we looked into that?
They're going to do it, by the way.
I am not aware of anything that our building department would accept for permitting that is generated through AI, but I can ask.
You have to have certified architects and
they have to be
engineers
signed
sign
and
off
sealed
on that,
plans.
Signed and sealed. So they won't do that with AI.
Right. So for clarification, for legal purposes and for permitting, what is it that we What's the?
Well, AI is good for renderings, but when it comes to actual construction documents, they need to be signed and sealed by actual licensed professionals, yeah.
Okay, thank
So,
you.
so I have a question.
Go ahead.
So when we renovated the bathrooms in the 4th floor or the kitchen in the 4th floor, we need building permits for that?
The bathroom and the lunchroom, nothing structurally changed with that.
Yeah, but that's not the question. Do we need like a whole design and also building permits? We were not structural clearly, but certain things were there changed. So do we need a permit for an in-house construction?
We do get permits for in-house construction projects,
So we
yes.
do have it for those projects specifically.
The bathroom, no, that was changing it. Actually, I can't answer that. I don't know. Public Works has been getting permits for the renovation to the 3rd floor, the 4th floor. the
Because
different things we do.
many other municipalities, when they're doing things indoor for themselves, they don't need this kind of specific, sophisticated permits. And I know of other construction that have been done in the city, which I believe probably we skipped that part. So again, $70,000 for designing doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry, I know about these numbers and they're way too much.
Okay. Anyone else? I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Oppose.
Opposed.
Okay. Next item, Mauricio.
9R is a resolution authorizing the city manager to purchase necessary telecommunication services and related products from Suncom for fiscal year 2025-2026.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is telecom extending communications with state of Florida in the amount of $100,000 for citywide projects that are telecom and general products.
Okay. Do we have public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Any comments from the commission? I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Need a second? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Losing my voice. All right, next item.
9S is a resolution approving the appointing the city's delegate and their alternate to the Miami-Dade League of Cities to attend meetings from May 2026 through May 2027. These are the mayor's appointments to serve or to attend the meetings and to be able to vote at the Miami-Dade League of Cities. It's Commissioner Stuyvesant and Commissioner Joseph as the alternate.
Okay. Were they asked in advance?
I'm sorry?
They weren't asked in advance.
No, they were not. I'm sorry.
All right, are you all okay with these appointments?
Sure.
All right, I'll take a motion.
So
Wait, do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I have a motion. Do I need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next item.
9T is a resolution establishing that was deferred. 9U is a resolution directing the city manager and city attorney to draft a municipal ordinance to eliminate the upland property owner requirement for residents seeking public beach event permits.
Okay, so this was brought up to me by some residents that they found out when they wanted to do some gatherings on the beach that they were not able to. So I just want to make sure what is the process to any resident that lives on the west side of Collins if they decide that they want to do a specific party on the beach, let's say, or on Sansom Park or any other part.
Okay.
Jason, you want to?
It depends on what it is. There's not a general answer for that.
Okay, so somebody wants to do a birthday party on Sansom Park, and it's going to be 25 people. They want to have some music and balloons and pictures taken or a video taken.
So Sampson Oceanfront Park is not in our rental program, if that's what you're asking. We do have parks that are in our rental program, but there's nothing to preclude anyone from, like if you wanted to say to all your children's friends, meet me at the park, and you bring over some food and balloons and a tent, there's nothing to stop you
So
from
what
doing
does need event permit? what kind of, when is
Things that
needed?
require production or reserved area, if you're going to reserve an area or
Okay.
you want to have a production of some sort.
Okay, precisely. So somebody wants to do some production. They want to have a wedding, maybe not 25 people, 40 people, and they want to do it on the beach. So what would be the procedure for that?
It would be suggested that they partner with an upland property owner, yes.
Meaning that, let me put my glasses. So any resident seeking to host a simple gathering is legally required to have an upland property owner, specifically an oceanfront condominium or hotel, to co-sign, sponsor, or approve their application.
Okay.
Correct?
It's not in our code that way, but yes.
Okay, so
Because logistically,
okay.
there's no other way for them to do that.
How so when the beach doesn't belong to the buildings?
It's getting there. So to have a wedding, for example, you'd have an arch, you'd have 40 or more chairs, you would have maybe a runner, you'd have flowers, you would have guests, you would have music, which requires electricity, and all of that has to get to the beach, so that would have to go through an upland property owner.
Well, not necessarily. They can go through Saxon Park, and they can park on the behind Walgreens. Also, depending on whatever it is they want. Maybe they don't want to have anything with electricity. The point here is that to have a gathering on the beach, the only people who have right now the right to do so are the owners of the condominiums or hotels in there. Any other resident of Sunny Isles cannot get this kind of permits. So all I'm doing is bringing this to the consideration of the commission, because this was brought up to me by some residents that when they were trying to do their gatherings, they find out about all these requirements. The way they put it to me is this is borderline discrimination. So we can just fix this. That's the idea, to fix this. It's like we have two kind of citizens. The citizens that live on the east side of Collins and apparently, like one developer told me a long time ago, we don't own the beach, but we sell it. Here, apparently, they do own it. Because for anybody to try to do any kind of gathering, then they have to partner with them. If not, to what has happened in the past, then they get a violation once they are there. So yes, it happens, and the code enforcement goes because apparently certain residents doesn't like to see certain people on the beach. So when they are together, then they get the violation, and things can escalate. So the idea is to clean up something that is, like I say, borderline discrimination.
Do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am. Oh, yes. So sorry. We have James Zaradin.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, and distinguished members of the city. My name is James Zaratin. I oversee the estates at Aquilina, 17945 Collins. On behalf of Aquilina Resort and Residences, thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening on the matter that's critically important to our residents and the broader community. We understand the Commission is considering allowing open booking of beach events without requiring partnership with a beachfront hotel or residential condominium property. While we appreciate the intent, we respectively urge caution given the potential impacts. Sunny Isles Beach is known for its tranquility and well-managed environment, something that has been preserved through partnerships with hotels and residential condominium communities that provide the necessary infrastructure, oversight, and accountability for events. Removing this requirement raises two key concerns. First, the resident experience. Our beaches are an extension of home for residents on both sides of Collins Avenue. Unrestricted events risk disrupting the peaceful character and accessibility that define this community. Even today, events are limited to ensure balance. Second, logistics. Events require essential services, power, restrooms, waste management, security, parking. Hotels and condominium properties currently manage these in a structured way. Without that partnership, it's unclear how these needs would be met or enforced, potentially placing strain on city resources. We support well-executed events, but maintaining the current partnership requirement ensures that they are conducted responsibly and with proper oversight. We respectfully ask the Commission to preserve this policy or implement a framework that upholds the same level of accountability. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other public speakers?
No, ma'am.
I have some questions. Well, actually, does anyone else on the commission have any questions or comments?
I do, but go ahead.
All right. So, because I had asked this question before, I was also contacted by the same developer that wanted to use the space for yoga. If I want to use the space, and can I use the city as my upland partner? Meaning, what if I wanted to do it at Sampson? So let's say I don't want to do a birthday party. I want to do a wedding, and I want to do it at Sampson. Can I do that?
So based on the past direction from a past commission that is not sitting here anymore, they wanted to preserve certain parks for the general public. They did not want it to be reserved for private use in any way. Sampson Oceanfront Park was one of those parks. Town Center Park was one of those parks. And that's why we've directed people to Heritage Park for rentals, Pelican Community Park for rentals. We then added in Golden Shores because some residents wanted to do
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I meant the beach. So where on the beach, if I'm a resident on the west side, that I can partner, that I can just go directly to the city? Is there anywhere?
There is currently not anywhere. If you'd like to direct us to do so.
Okay. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. And so right now, if someone goes and starts, and we have this because yoga is very popular, if people are, have a group together doing yoga on the beach, what do we do?
Okay, so there's two different things. So if it's just a gathering of people doing yoga, you're right. We've had complaints that people are doing it. I get phone calls and say, they're out there right now, go stop them because they're 20 or more, 25 or more. Code, working in conjunction with Cultural and Community Services, is working on a permit for that type of non-production event, to allow that in certain areas for certain time periods so that they could, and it's not just for the beach. That goes for somebody wanting to use the park for, you might want to do yoga in Town Center Park or somewhere else. That kind of organized gathering, they're working on a permit for that. That's different than a wedding. A wedding or something that has production would actually be a special event.
Okay, but for instance, people that come, and they very often during long holiday seasons, right now it's going to be, spring break is starting, they come, they put their tent out on the beach, they have their music out on the beach. For all intents and purposes, they could have up to 40 people there. Are they not allowed to use that without a permit?
Yes, if they just show up and go to the beach with 40 of their closest friends and bring a boom box and a tent, yes, there's nothing to stop them from doing that.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Vice Mayor, you had a question?
Yeah. I mean, procedural, right? So this is a resolution, which resolutions don't require to be a discussion item first. But items, what was our resolution? It's like from whenever we came up with this, I think was it in 23? Yeah, in September of 23. So we voted on this. It's all commissioner items that require an ordinance must first be scheduled and presented as a discussion item. So this is a resolution, but it's requiring an ordinance. So procedurally, we're off base here. I do find that topic interesting, but I think we're circumventing our process here, and we're circumventing staff because my understanding is that this was not vetted or drafted by staff, and that's their job, right? So whether this is legally sufficient or not, the city attorney hasn't been able to look at that. So we need things to go through staff. So, I mean, if you want to bring this back as a discussion item, we can talk about it then. But I want to see what a properly drafted document, before me.
It's a fair point. Okay. Any more comments?
So you're saying to bring it back next month after it's been worked on?
I'm saying if we want to have this conversation, it needs to come up as a discussion item first. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So a discussion item that's prepared from 3 o'clock to go to 6:30 that same day.
That's not up to me, right? That's up
Yes,
to
I
the
understand.
presenter.
But, okay, so for next month, be ready to work with staff and
No,
have it.
this is perfectly fine, like as it is.
All right, let's-
And
let's-
the city attorney had, actually, the city clerk has this timely 2 weeks ago, and I don't believe that they just put anything we write on the agenda. They had to go through their process of reading it or vetting it or whatever. If the city attorney wants to make any changes or recommendations, what I'm putting out there is not quotes that they have to print it as I'm giving it. Clearly, I'm not an attorney, so whatever it is that is there, I don't want anything on the agenda that doesn't make any sense.
I haven't
So,
heard anything from the city attorney yet.
I want them to read it, vet it, and make sure that it makes sense what we're putting on there.
These have not been vetted because they weren't drafted by us, so.
Okay, it was drafted by me, so what is the difference?
The difference is your code says that the city clerk and the city attorney are supposed to draft the resolutions. We can work with you to do that, but we haven't vetted that factually. We haven't vetted it.
But you guys had the time, so when I'm
It
giving,
was- one, it wasn't
yes,
requested.
I give it on time. So I'm giving it as a draft for you guys to read it and vet it. So if you guys didn't do it, that's not up to me. And how our friend of the state of Aquilina says, the beach is an extension of home for both sides, quoting. That's not the case, because right now, anybody on the west side cannot do their events on the beach. We have had incidents with the people unless they go through all these requirements that most people don't have access to. So in the way that I wrote it is to allow that only residents of the city of Sunny Isles Beach can have access to do their events on the beach as well. This is not known for most people. I actually didn't know about this until it was brought to me. Legally, like I said, I can bring this as a resolution. If you guys don't want to fix this, again, thanks God that in a few months we're going to have a new commission probably that they have the willing to do it. And I will bring this back in 3 months as another resolution. And I'll give you the time to read it and clean it and draft it.
Mr. City Attorney, for the purposes of the public and just for the record, what is the correct procedure for drafting a resolution?
A new procedure that you created.
That by
So,
by the charter.
By the code, I think it's section 74-15. Resolutions, ordinances are supposed to be drafted by the city clerk and city attorney. You all in 2023 passed a resolution setting forth guidelines with regards to how you put things on the agenda. Anything that requires an ordinance, whether you bring it as a motion, a resolution, or anything else, but if it requires ultimately an ordinance, it has to come for discussion first.
Okay, thank you. Take a motion.
May I? No.
You have a question?
Yeah. No, I have some comments. So I would like to see some sort of, I would like to see this fixed, okay? Whether it's in a month or 2 months, but obviously doing it through the clerk and the city attorney. But I think that the entity that should be controlling the permits should be the city itself, okay? I don't think that people from the west side should be dependent on the approval of buildings on the east side, okay? The beach is everybody's beach, okay? I understand the logistics of it, but if they can bring a company that could, transport everything through the access points to the beach, and they don't have an issue doing that, I don't see why we should be limiting this or putting any hurdles into giving these people from the west side a permit to be able to organize something. Now, obviously, we want to maintain the peace. We want to maintain a calm atmosphere at the beach. We don't want any issues to happen, okay? So, we need to stick to rules and regulations. We need to have enforcement, and that's why we have code compliance and we have a police department to impose and to make sure that everybody is abiding by what is permitted. But yeah, I don't think that people from the west side should have a partnership from the people at the east side. And what about if the people on the east side are biased and don't want to have or don't want to permit people from the west side to do anything at all. So I think that the structure should change, and it should be allowed for anybody to apply for a permit, and us, the city, should be the one approving that permit. It should not be dependent on any other party.
Clarification about discussion items. If we make this a discussion item, our friend from Aquilina or anybody from the public cannot participate in the discussion. You cannot even talk to us. And that discussion item will be closed only to this body. And I believe what we are having right now is a discussion. And this is legally sufficient. I can put the resolutions, and like I said, I'm going to continue doing it.
Okay.
Mayor?
Thank you. Go ahead.
I just wanted to provide some information regarding these beach events because I've been dealing with them now for the past 13 years. I would say the majority of the time, the event that's described to us that someone wants to have is significantly less intense than the event that they have. So inevitably, we're told, and I'll use the yoga as an example. This came up in the past. It was supposed to be just a few people having yoga on the beach. It turned into a lot of people, and they brought a sound system. They had tables for giving out flyers and events. We got a lot of complaints from that from the adjacent property owner.
So you're saying it,
Hold
I
on.
think you reversed it, because I think
Commissioner Joseph, can let the
it
manager
turns
finish,
out
please?
to be larger than what they
Commissioner Joseph.
originally say.
Correct, larger, thank you. Larger and more intense. So I don't see that there's anything here to fix. I think that we have a procedure in place where they can get a permit. In the example that the commissioner brought up, it worked out well. They partnered with someone on the east side. They were able to provide electricity, have a successful event that we're also able to monitor, control to see if there's police, ocean rescue. We get requests for events on the beach weekly, including the pier. So if we don't have some sort of protection in place and it becomes a free-for-all, to your point, Commissioner Lama, regarding accessing our beach access points, the question is, where are they going to park to offload their equipment? Are they going to stop on Collins? Are they going to park across the street? We've had requests from people across the street that want to transport stuff
Use the
daily.
robots.
They want people to they want to be able to transport stuff daily and then store it on the beach. So it's always more intense than what it's supposed to be. And then that also affects our residents that are using the beach walk for some of these significant events that we have on the beach. It's very involved with the equipment, the power, water, waste, as the gentleman explained, and all these things are affecting our residents that are enjoying the beach.
Okay, thank you. I'll take a motion.
I have a question about the storing on the beach. As it is, I see large storage on the beach in chairs and tables, etc., on the beach and on the dunes, not on the properties of the buildings. So I am surprised to hear that storing on the beach is an issue when there is multiple boxes being on the beach used for storage. So I guess we are allowing the storage only for certain type of people, the people that live on the east side, and apparently it bothers us when we see things being rolled by the people on the west side. And that's what I said, that the people that brought up this to me, they were using that specific word, that we are discriminating. This is a discrimination issue. So, and we are talking about hypotheticals, about what kind of events are coming or are not coming. Like we said, right now we don't have even the opportunity to apply, because if you are not partnering, your birthday party, your small wedding, or your whatever, doesn't even get to the applying process. So I do believe that this is something that has to be fixed, and I think there is consensus here in this commission for that.
All right, would you like to make a motion?
Of course, I make a motion.
I need a second.
I'll second.
Mauricio, can you take a roll call, please?
Sure.
To be
Yes.
clear, what are we moving? The resolution as drafted?
On Commissioner Stevenson resolution,
As drafted?
as drafted.
For you to draft whatever is needed.
No,
Well,
no, no,
that's-
no, 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 we
no,
can't do
that's-
that.
No, that's what it says.
Yeah, but I
That's
know,
the
but we need
instruction.
guidance as to what, where you're asking us to change an ordinance. We need guidance as to what you want for us
What
to
are we
change in the
asking?
ordinance. We don't even have the ordinance in front of us.
To give access to, well, because I cannot write an ordinance clearly. That's the thing. That's why we're asking
But
for
that's
a
why
resolution.
we have the process of discussion so that we can have
And we're
input.
having
so
the
sta-
discussion right now.
This is the wrong process,
Yes,
guys.
this is
No, it's a
not-
process that you guys created, so.
That you
no.
signed off on. Your name is
No.
on this resolution.
No.
You've spoken
Here
a
is
lot
the-
about process today, but you don't want to follow it now.
Okay, here is very specific in section 1, incorporation, or the whereas to be incorporated, the timeline for the presentation to bring it to us on the next commission meeting, which is in 30 days. The commission hereby directs the city attorney to draft the necessary municipal ordinance and/or charter amendment referendum language required to formally establish a fully independent, I'm reading the Inspector General, I'm so sorry. I'm reading the wrong one. A direct resident-to-resident permitting framework that allows any verified homesteaded resident of Sunny Isles Beach to directly apply for and obtain a beach event permit, subject to standard municipal safety, fees, and cleanup requirements, without requiring the permission of any third-party condominium board, hotel, or upland property owner. Like Commissioner or Vice Mayor Lama said, now what, just taking the control from the hotels and putting it on the city.
And again, the challenge that staff has is when, so for example, if you pass it as written, you as a commissioner are saying that this bureaucratic requirement creates a discriminatory two-tiered system of residency, or effectively banning every resident living on the west side of Collins Avenue, as well as those living in non-oceanfront properties on the east side, from utilizing their own public beach for private family events simply because they do not own oceanfront real estate. This is a statement of the City Commission this evening.
Thank you for the clarification.
That's the resolution in your whereas clause. It also refers to unnecessary bureaucratic delay. There's other aspects that says that they cannot apply for a permit. They can apply for a permit. They just have to be able to provide what's required. But, well, they still can apply though, so that's inaccurate. So that's why,
I think
again,
this
if you're going to
illustrates
approve
why
it-
this needs to be done not on the dais but beforehand. So, all right, a motion was made by Commissioner Stuyvesant. Did I have a second?
He seconded.
I second it, but on reconsideration, I would like to have this deferred for further review and have it come back next month
Okay, so
in an accurate form.
you're taking back your second. Do I have a second?
I'm sorry, Mayor, but the motion was made, the second, and it was seconded. We now
so-
have to go
yes,
for the
I-
vote for that
Even
motion,
though- Okay, so we'll
even
do
though
a
it was
vote.
made. Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Commissioner Stuyvesant.
Yes.
Commissioner Joseph.
No.
Commissioner Lama.
No.
Vice Mayor Viscarro.
No.
Mayor Svechen.
No.
The resolution fails 4-1.
Okay, thank you. All right. Sure, I lost my voice, so. All right.
Do it right.
I think that the staff has got enough, we've circumvented the discussion process, but the essence, they got the gist, let's just say. Next item, please.
Next item is 9V, a resolution directing the city manager and city attorney to draft the necessary legislation, ordinances, and/or ballot referendum language required to establish an independent in-house office of the Inspector General.
Yeah, very self-explanatory as well. It's just, I spoke about this on the budget, that we need an Office of the Inspector General considering the amount of money that we have in our capital improvement plans, the amount of money in our budget, and it's just best practices. This is a 80-20 issue, so it just makes sense to have it, and like other cities have done it in the last few years.
Okay, my objection is
Wait,
exactly
one
the same.
second, I just need to know if there's any public speakers.
There's none.
All right, Vice Mayor?
My objection is exactly the same. This requires an ordinance. It should go through the discussion process first.
I agree with you. Anyone else have a comment? Mr. Lama?
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to have a discussion, take a good look at if we do move forward with this, delineate what the responsibilities are, because I have perhaps some other vision of what this position could be. So I would like to have a discussion on this, for
Okay.
sure, yeah.
So you know that
Okay.
that for this, to be able to move forward, we have to have it on the ballot in November, because the people have to vote for it. So we don't have that much time for this. Like I said, it's just like having a police department without internal affairs. Like we need this. We have multiple contracts that they don't come to us because they're for $49,500. I can bring those for you to see it. We have multiple contracts that they've been split in two, and it's the same owner, so they don't come to us as well. So clearly, there is the need for this. And again, it's only giving right now the request to bring it to us to make it happen.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
if I may,
Yeah.
just really quickly, just a point of clarification, because I did briefly speak with Commissioner Syverson about this prior to the meeting. So even if this resolution were to pass, assuming that it would pass, it would still require an ordinance that requires 2 readings. The purpose wouldn't be to put it on the ballot for November, because it wouldn't fit the timeline that is set by the supervisor of elections. Even then, it would require a special election. So especially given that it's a presidential election, the timelines shift a little bit and become earlier. So if there's movement on this, just to be clear, it would be a special election at this point.
Thank you. All right, I'll take a motion.
Thank you for the clarification. I make the motion.
And you a second? All right, no second, item dies. Next item?
9W is a resolution directing the city manager to activate, populate, and publish the public-facing open checkbook and transparency portal of the city's existing open gov municipal software.
Well, yeah, today we spoke a lot about transparency and the lack of it that we have in this administration. So right now we are paying for certain software that had the ability for the public and the people to see any and every expense and check written by the city. We don't have that available for the people, but we're paying for it. We have those capabilities. So this is only to direct the city manager to give more access to the people to the financial information of the city.
Do we have any public speakers?
We do not.
Okay. Any comments from the commission?
Was this discussed at the workshop?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I need a motion.
Motion.
Second? Okay, so second, the item dies.
Okay.
Next item.
9X is a resolution formally censuring the mayor for an ultra-vires act, abuse of power, and the unilateral exclusion of former elected officials from taxpayer-funded public anniversary celebration.
Adoption of this resolution formally censors the mayor for exceeding executive authority, misappropriating a taxpayer-funded public forum, and breaching professional intergovernmental decorum by prohibiting historically significant former elected officials from participating in a public proclamation presentation. The city of Sunny Isles Beach recently hosted an anniversary beach party funded by approximately $300,000 in taxpayer dollars. As a publicly funded municipal event, the celebration and its corresponding stage and programming belong exclusively to the residents of the city, not to any single elected official. During the event, Miami-Dade County Commissioner Mickey Steinberg attended in an official capacity to present a formal proclamation honoring the city's history. Present at this civic celebration were the city's founding father, former Mayor Norman Edelkop, and former Mayor Dana Goldman. When County Commissioner Steinberg and City Commissioner Fabiola Stuyvesant respectfully requested that those historical significance officials be invited to the stage during the reading of the proclamation, the mayor unilaterally and hostilely denied the request. This exclusion necessitates a formal censure by the City Commission for the following legal and ethical reasons. The Ultra Vires Act. The City of Sunny Isles Beach operates under a city manager form of government. The city charter grants the mayor no enumerated power to act as a unilateral gatekeeper of a taxpayer-funded public stage. Banning the city's founding father and a former mayor from participating in a public civic recognition is an Ultra Vires Act, an action taken entirely outside the legal scope of the mayor's authority. Misappropriation of public forum. A 300,000 plus taxpayer-funded event is not a private function or a political platform. By weaponizing a public stage to exclude specific individuals, the mayor misappropriated a public asset, transforming a community celebration into a private vanity project and violating the public trust. Breach of decorum. Publicly denying a sitting Miami-Dade County Commission's request to honor the city's founding father is a severe breach of intergovernmental decorum. This conduct violates the spirit of the Miami-Dade County Citizens' Bill of Rights, which mandates professionalism, courtesy, and respect from all public officials, and it brings unnecessary embarrassment to the city's reputation. In direct protest of this blatant abuse of power, and out of profound respect for those present, I declined to participate in the state presentation, refusing to legitimize or empower exclusionary conduct. A formal censure is the standard and necessary legislative mechanism used by municipal bodies to publicly reprimand an official who acts outside the bounds of the legal authority. By adopting this resolution, the City Commission formally condemns the breach of decorum, demands a written apology to the affected parties, and reaffirms that all city events belong to the taxpayers.
Marisa, do you have any public speakers?
We do.
Okay.
Annabelle Taub Lima.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners.
Just your name and address for the record, please.
Sure, Annabelle Taub Lima, Hallandale Beach. I signed up to speak because censure is meant to be a statement of disapproval, not a tool for coercion. The U.S. Supreme Court in Houston Community College System versus Wilson made clear that censure is permissible when it is simply speech. But this resolution goes further. It demands that the mayor issue a written apology to specific individuals. That's no longer just speech, that is compelled action. Under Lozman versus City of Riviera Beach, when government action is used to pressure or retaliate over speech disagreement, it raises serious constitutional concerns. What is especially troubling is the inconsistency. The resolution accuses the mayor of misusing public forum and exceeding her authority, yet the body is now being asked to do something very similar. Use governmental power to impose a directive that benefits specific individuals, including those who may be aligned with the sponsor of the resolution. I'll read that again. Use governmental power to impose a directive that benefits specific individuals, including those who may be aligned with the sponsor of this resolution. In effect, it replaces one alleged overreach with another, only this through the formal vote of the commission. This is not accountability, this is escalation. And it matters because once you move from expressing disagreement into compelling action, you open the door to legal exposure to the city, potential First Amendment violations, costly litigation, and taxpayer-funded defense of what is ultimately a political dispute. This does not affect one person, it puts the city at risk. Censure should be reserved for clear ethical violations, not used to compel speech, settle political differences, or create uneven standards of authority. This resolution criticizes overreach, yet at the same time requiring it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Isaac Feldman.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, and city officials.
Could you
Your
speak
na-
into the
what-
mic, please?
Your name and address for the record, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Now, yes.
Thank you. Okay, good evening. My name is Isaac Feldman, 177 in Collins Avenue. I have been in the city since 1991 and involved with this community for decades. I want to address the censure resolution carefully and based on what the chapter actually says. Commissioner Silverstein raises 3 accusations. Ultra-virus, I mean, many people didn't even hear what it means. I don't know if you know what it means. Abuse of power, misuse of public forum. I will address each one directly. Ultra-virus. Under section 2.2a of the City of Sunny Isles Beach Charter, the mayor is the official representative of the city in all dealings with other governmental entities. This establishes that the mayor has a defined representative role. This matters involves a city event and a presentation on the stage. There is no charter provision requiring former officials to be included, and there is no charter authority given to individual commissioners to control event representation. Based on charter, there is no support for the claim that the mayor acted outside of her authority. Abuse of power. And abuse of power requires misuse of authority. Here, the issue is a decision about event participation. There is no indication of personal benefit, misuse of city resources, or violation of charter duties. Disagreement with the decision does not make it an abuse of power. Now, misuse of public forum. A city event is not an open public forum where a participation on stage is guaranteed. There is no charter language requiring specific individual to be included. Without such a requirement, this claim does not apply. Context that really matters. Now to the real why it happens. Former Mayor Donna Goldman served for a short period, approximately 10 to 11 months. In the following election, the voters made their decision.
I thought that we don't name people, or we don't allow that.
I can.
Yeah, I thought that's.
In the following election, the
Yeah,
voters
now
made
you're
their
allowed.
decision clearly and elected Mayor Larissa Svecin. She has been serving the city since, and she is seeking re-election this year. At the same time, residents are seeing a pattern. Commissioner Fabiola Silverson repeatedly pushes Donna Goldman forward. At the city events, at the Chabad Jewish Center ribbon cutting, where she was present as a guest, and he still pushes her forward.
Let him finish his time.
But you are
It's
not
my
giving
time
them the
now.
instruction
It's
not
my
to name
time.
the people.
Stevenson.
Okay?
And
Again,
now
do you
through
see
the
why this
censure
happening?
resolution, you're wasting my time. It's
No,
my
you are
time now.
not. You cannot
It's
name
my
the
time
people.
now. I can
We're
say
We're
it
not
again.
gonna, we're not gonna go back and forth.
We
Finish
have to-
your,
this is
I
the
need-
we're
I
not
need to
going
continue.
back and forth. Commissioner
And
Stevenson, you're out
alongside
of
that, the
line.
resident to see both Commissioner Jerry Joseph and Commissioner Viola Silverstein actively using their position as commissioners for campaigning purposes. Commissioner Jerry Joseph for his own mayoral ambitions. Commissioner Fabiola Silverstein to support Donna Goldman. This is how the pattern is
Isaac,
supposed to be
Isaac.
used.
You see what's happening. This
Final
abuse.
point, Mayor
Isaac.
Larissa Svecin, yes.
Isaac, please.
Incredible.
I'm
Yes.
finishing. Two more minutes.
Thank you. No, not 2 more minutes. Just finish your sentence,
Okay.
please.
Yeah, he cannot name
Yeah,
people.
exactly.
I mean, you gotta
Okay.
stick to
No,
it.
he
Okay,
cannot.
so I'll
be-
finish with
No,
one
he cannot.
statement.
Can we
If there
please
is
have
no
order?
charter violation, then this is not about law. This is about politics. And everyone in this room and across the city understands the difference. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have any
Why
other
are we
speakers?
allowed to be abused by a 6-year
not-
federal felon?
Guys,
Vitaly Falkovich.
okay, I'm going to ask this commission, regardless of the item that's before us, we're all going to, this is the end of the meeting, please maintain your decorum. Please do not yell at the speaker. If I don't recognize you, you're not recognized. I'll let the speakers speak.
BS.
Pardon? Commissioner Stevenson, what did you just
I
say?
had nothing to say to you.
Keeping it classy. Go ahead.
My name is Vitaly Falkovich, 9280 Southwest 167 Terrace, Palmetto Bay, Florida.
as not a resident, but as a visitor who comes here, I don't know, 3 times a week, 4 times a week sometimes, and attend almost every meeting in the last, let's say, year or a little more, I never heard Madam Mayor abuse her power. I've seen a lot of things. I know it's election year, it's politics. It's not kind of politics that you guys want to have in the commission. I'm very saddened to see that occur. As observing the government coming in and doing things here in Miami Beach, I never seen any kind of problem. The only thing was the traffic, but it doesn't really matter. The traffic is everywhere. It's really sad that I observed Madam Mayor being attacked on several occasions for really no reason. It's really sad to see that happen. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other speakers?
No, Mayor, no more.
Okay. Have any comments from the commission? I'll take a motion.
I make a motion.
I have a question. So I was not there. What exactly happened? Can somebody explain? Can you explain, Mayor?
Here's, I'm going to say something very short because I do not want to get into a back and forth on this. It's really beneath this body to even have this discussion. We all agreed to be on stage at 6 o'clock. Because of the rain, it was delayed. Commissioner Mickey Steinberg got there early, as did I. She made it very clear she wanted to leave early, but then it started raining. We, I believe, all got somewhat separated. We were waiting, because remember, you guys were coming late when she was already leaving. There was 2 reasons why we did what we did at that time, which was let her finish, present her proclamation. Was 1, she asked because she wanted to leave, and 2, because the rain was going to start again. For the record, Commissioner Steinberg never asked me to allow anyone on stage, but regardless of that, when we have events that are this big, there's a reason why everything is planned in advance, because otherwise, especially when you have unexpected things like the rain, it creates chaos and dysfunction. So that's it.
Okay, so for the record, I ask a question. Did I ask you for our former elected
like I said,
officials
I'm not gonna go back and forth. You screamed from the stage when Commissioner Joseph and I were up on the stage. I asked you to come up because we were waiting for you. You screamed, "Can you let them?" Or I don't remember exactly what I said. It's just for the elected officials, and that's it.
Well, they were
we're not gonna go back
like
and
I
forth.
said, I did actually was there, and I didn't scream. I respectfully asked. You even called me twice to the stage. I didn't go. It's like, I don't understand why you take this kind of pleasure of humiliating our former elected officials. You know, you did it with the art wall. You did it with the birthday party. Over and over, you've been doing this to our former elected officials.
I just want to say,
and everybody's gonna be a former elected official at some point.
Thank you very much. I just want to say that I acknowledged both former Mayor Edelcup and Dana Goldman. And afterwards, I had specifically asked them to come and take a picture with us. They were not ignored or disrespected in the very least. And by the way, former Mayor Bud Scholl was there. No one is worried about him having to been able to go on stage. So this is just all theatrics. Nobody was disrespected at all. But please, and then can we just take a motion and move on?
I would like to say that at some point in the future, I will be a former commissioner. I don't expect to be on the stage for future commissions. If I happen to be in the audience, if I participate in the event, if I'm recognized, that's all that I would expect. But I do not expect to be asked on the stage. I wouldn't look to be on the stage, and I would think that the issue would be the same for any former mayor or commissioner now.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Stevenson made a motion. I need a second. Okay, motion dies. Next item is the last item, the add-on.
Yes, the add-on item, which is 9I, and it's resolution approving the issuance of a proclamation recognizing.
You say I or Y?
Y.
Okay.
A resolution approving the issuance of a proclamation recognizing April 2026 as National Poetry Month.
Vice Mayor?
So as you know, I think every month is Poetry Appreciation Month, but nationally speaking, it's April. So I think of the month and you think a month ahead. So my intention was to do this just like the autism thing. But yeah, so if we could just acknowledge it, and I'd like to present it next month. I have an idea of who I'd like to present it to, or maybe even at the Poetry at the Park, so that we have it ready. I don't know when it is, but I'd like to have it ready so we can present it.
Do you have someone in mind?
I do, but I don't know if I don't know who. Yeah, yes, I definitely have someone in mind, but I don't know if they'll be able to be here at the meeting, or so I have to coordinate that.
Do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Any comments from the commission? I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, now we are on to Citizens Forum.
Yeah.
David Virgil.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commission. My name is David Virgil. My address is 17500 Northbury Road, Sunny Isles Beach, Florida. I just want to make a small suggestion to the commission meeting broadcast. I think it would be useful if you all add a clock or the date to one corner of the screen, so people watching at home could follow online, or people watching later could know what time each item was called. I just think it would be useful for some people. And one more thing, I know that the agenda review is not broadcast live, but anyone can ask for a copy of a recording if they ask the city clerk, and I've been given a copy in the past, so it's not really that much of a private meeting. And that's basically all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Is that something that's possible, to add a timestamp? Okay. All right. And
I think it's a good idea, because like if you look for it online, it'll tell you, right? It'll say it. But if you happen to catch it on TV, you don't know.
No, I know
So
other
that's a good
other
point.
cities do that.
Yeah.
Do we have any other speakers?
Yes, Vitaly Falkovich.
My name is Dr. Falkovich, 980 Southwest 167 Terrace, Palmetto Bay. One of the things that deal with having the clients here and deal with our local law enforcement and Sunny Isles Beach Police Department on several occasions, I'm really grateful that as coming in here as a visitor, I feel safe. There's only two places that I feel safe, in Sunny Isles Beach and Palmetto Bay. And as much as I have clients in Miami Beach, I don't feel safe in Miami Beach. And to me, that shows, as your city manager, as a deputy city manager, shows how they conduct and have amazing police chief and amazing police department. And for that, I'm very grateful. Also, the Station 10 that responds to your call, I had an emergency the last time I was here, and I'm very thankful for having them here, because they responded in the traffic in 3 minutes. And I'm very grateful to see the administration and how you guys conduct the business and how the emergency responds in the city. Thank you.
Thank you.
Before you
other-
adjourn.
No other. Do you have an announcement?
Yes.
Don't cut the feed.
Just a reminder that iPad programming is active. We have basketball and volleyball going on at the spot, and we have a jiu-jitsu boxing combo going on at the Aventura Police Department. Okay.
Thank you for the announcement. All right. Thank you, everyone. Meeting adjourned.
It's been really fun, spend time with my friends. I also really like the hot cocoa, so yeah. And then that's also how I meet a lot of people, like I just met her here.
I think it's wonderful. There's so many great Christmas decorations, and Santa is literally right over there. It's the best.
Every year we're celebrated with our friends, with our family. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Sunny Isles.
Catch the SIB shuttle. For your convenience, the SIB